This is your brother Gabar coming to you live from the Boogie Down Bronx. This is IAMFITPodcast. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Thank you for spending some time with me. We at it again. I was watching today, brother Nubreed, and he came out with some powerful information. And I was like, hey, I was texting him. I said, hey, brother, let me come in. Let me say something. He didn't catch the text until after the show. So we begin to talk. So you know what? You want to come back live? It's like, let's do it. Let's do it live. Just come back. So we're going to have a conversation because there's a video out there circulating, right? Brother Newbury, can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, baby. Working, brother Newbury in the house. Brother Newbury in the house. Salute. Captain, how we doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. We live and direct. It's an honor to be on your show. And this topic that we on today, man, is pertinent right now. So I'm really looking forward to this strong build right here.
Yeah, sure. it's and I know you got the video. We're gonna play it in a bit, So we're gonna set the stage a little bit. These shows, they're like thousands and millions of these type of shows talking about relationship, men and women, children, divorce, cheating, different lifestyle perspectives, and they're popular out there. We're doing it ourselves. We got a podcast. You got your thing. So let the people know. I know I've been on your show. I think this is the first time you're on my show, but I think we're simultaneously today, right? You live.
Oh, yeah.
So we're doing it.
Simulcasting.
Simulcasting today, man.
We got to introduce each other, man.
Absolutely.
We've been on the show before, but for those who don't know, man, this is Elder Gabar Shiar, former regional elder of the Gathering of Christ Church. Very powerful brother, man. I actually came into contact with him some years ago. During the building of Gathering of Christ Church, they had a DC branch, and actually Elder Gabar was the first person I reached out to, and I actually had conversations with him back then. And as time went, he, we just came in contact with each other's content organically, and I had to reach back out because I was a fan of what this brother was doing. And so this is Elder Gabar Shiar for everybody on Nubreed Global Truth. Powerful brother.
And this is brother Nubreed Global Truth. He has been out in the social media blasting some information that nobody's talking about. Sometimes, subject that he talks about, I cringe because should I talk about that too? I don't know. At least Nubreed's doing it. So this brother talks, he's one of the few brothers that's out there talking about the secret hand that is out there controlling the masses and looking at it from a perspective that is all about power, control. It's about, people out there, the few, the so-called elite, and bringing light to those darkest among us. So Brother Newbury's been doing his work for a long time. I think you about almost 200,000 subscribers now, right? What's your number these days?
Yes, sir. We are approaching 163,000.
Yeah, man. So we got to get you to a million soon. We got to get you to a million. So make sure you support the brother.
Same to you, brother. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, and brother, one of the things I wanted to kind of bring you on, and thank you for also bringing me on your show.
Absolutely.
Because I saw the video, and I know you talked about. I know there was a relationship coach that got caught cheating, or there was some issues there that he was a monogamous or pro-monogamous brother, and then he got caught cheating. Thank you, baby.
Yes, brother Derek Jackson. He's recently in the news. He's pretty much a trending topic, and he's been caught multiple times last year actually cheating. The wife toughed it out with him, and they stayed together throughout all the media scrutiny. Being a public figure, being a wife of a public figure, it seemed as if the pressure finally got to her and him as well, and they decided to file for a divorce. And I had to cover that story because I was actually one of the few who said, I hope they actually work it out, because I don't think in the Western society people truly understand true biblical components when it comes to marriage. And you know, I find this is a time to use is to really educate people
Yeah.
to the nature of men in general and how society has changed the nature of men and what we see today with brothers hiding, sneaking, creeping, and how that is just detrimental in itself because that's
Yeah.
not the nature of man. Yeah.
Yeah. And you hit it right in the nose because it's like, I've been saying this for a long time. As you know, I was with a church and then, I left the church. And when I wanted to kind of be more independent, and I wanted to kind of speak my real thought, the polygamy and plural woman or plural marriage or plural a wife, one man sharing or one man being shared by multiple women, which is I feel is a more natural way of being and how God created man and women. That my church didn't believe in that necessarily. And then when I began to really want to be freed, and shout out to the church I was with and all the churches out there. And no shut today, no disrespect, but I felt that this subject was important to finally say, hey, I'm speaking my own mind, and more importantly, to shed light on a subject matter that I've been speaking to many brothers in private, and it's something they struggle with, and there's something that not only they struggle with, but they are confused why it doesn't go away. They feel they're associated with sin and lust and evil, and it's been 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, and like, elder, I'm still got this lust. I say, brother, the reason why you feel this way because you're sexually deprived. So now you can look at it from the right perspective. It's not a demon. It's just your biological, God-given creation. The way He created you to be fruitful and multiply. So He gave you a testosterone, a genetic dispensation for you to multiply with women, multiple women. That's a natural thing. Now you understand that. Once you understand that, now you could control it, or you could navigate it or deal with it, not from a perspective, God, please take away this feeling away from me. From, okay, I got to protect myself from this situation, and say, okay, if God made me this way, should I get legally married to a woman without having this conversation? Should I get legally married to a woman and tell her you're the only one for me, knowingly that I'm always going to be suffer with this condition? It's not even a condition. I'm going to, by me telling a woman I'm going to be loyal to you, you're saying to that woman and to yourself, I give you the authority over my natural body. I'm giving you the oath that I'm going to suffer for the rest of my life.
Yep.
I'm going to resist myself for the rest of my life because you're worth it. I'm going against my nature because of you. That's what you need to tell women and men. You need to start telling yourself that. It's not a demon. It's not lust. It's not what it is. God made you this way. Now, the Bible is the nature, is the instruction for your nature. Because what we're not promoting is man running around in the night with different women running around with different men. Because, brothers, if you're cheating on your wife with a side chick, that side chick could be somebody else's side chick. And understand this, that sometimes side chick have multiple men that they are trying to keep from themselves and take away from that brother's wife. They only deal with the side chick situation for the time being because that's all you're giving them. But they really want to be wifey too.
Exactly.
Don't let them trick you.
Seriously. And I think science in general tells us that men are not naturally monogamous by
Yep.
nature. Uh, Men don't have biological clocks, ladies.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. If the Most High God ordained a man to be with one woman his natural born life, he wouldn't be able to have children off into his 70s and 80s. Whereas, though, on the other hand, a woman, she does have a biological clock, which means, as the scriptures tell us, that woman is supposed to be with that man for his natural born life. In the book of Corinthians, I believe, and I'm paraphrasing, where it says, um, she is bound to the law of her husband so long if he liveth.
Yeah.
Nowhere in the scriptures does that say that for a man, because that doesn't make any sense scientifically, in a biological level, because that man is supposed to be fruitful. And often men battle with themselves. I mean, they literally are restricting themselves from being men.
Yeah.
The first commandment known to man, live fruitful and multiply. That's the first thing he gave us as man.
Right.
So to go against our nature in that way and really like pretty much strangle ourselves as men is unhealthy and is unnatural. And women need to just really accept that,
Yeah.
and get with the times, because all of these marriages ending in divorce, all this serial monogamy, all of this quote unquote cheating, because there's no transparency, there's no honesty,
Yeah.
there's too many lies and deception being told, too many feelings being hurt, too many people growing homicidal, especially in this day and age. You don't want to be deceiving nobody in this day and age.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the elite did, but they didn't flip some switch where it'll be the person you laying right next to will be your murderer.
Yeah.
Because being deceptive is the wrong avenue to go. We got to be transparent and honest with each other, and that's one of the components that I myself and Elder Gabar been trying to preach. Absolutely.
Yeah. We're not helping women by allowing them to stay in this delusional space, because it's like a lot of women know. Sometimes they say, "Well, I don't want to find out. If he's doing it, I don't want to. I want to live in a world, in a fantasy world, that my man only loves me. He only sees me. He's going to stay with me for the rest of my life. And I'm going to fight against the science. I'm going to fight against God. I'm going to fight against nature. I'm going to fight against everything." And for men to keep lying to them, it's like, okay, you know what? If they want to, you know, if I could convince a woman that I will only be hers and she believes me and I could get away with
it, yeah.
Okay, no problem. But you're not hurt. You're not fixing the problem, brother. You adding the bad and bad behavior. The more you continue in that illusion, like that brother who I saw some of his videos, and this this dude is catering to women. I get it. That's the market there. But brother, sometimes you got to teach and you got to preach the truth. You got to tell the truth. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. And Kevin Samuels, when he began to teach the truth and tell the truth, he became more popular. Yeah, people, aiding him and things of that nature. But tell me one thing that he said it was not true. Maybe you didn't like his delivery. Fine. But give me the actual wrong thing that he said.
Yeah, you hold a good point. And I'm gonna say this right now. I criticized Kevin Samuels on a few talking points. But that's not to say that Kevin Samuels wasn't right about a lot of things. So
exactly.
Let me put that out there.
Yeah, and you're right. I didn't agree with everything he said. No man is
right.
agreeable in every aspect. Absolutely. Go ahead, brother.
There was, just so my audience know, Nubreed up here being fake because he criticized him here and there. No, I did criticize him, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't certain talking points that Kevin Samuels had that I agreed with. There were things I agreed with, just for the record. Specifically, when we're talking in regards of, a woman knowing what her value is. Not, I know he was pushing kind of like elitism with the high value man thing. Everybody's not a high value man. You had women kind of chasing a unicorn, and that was what my sentiments were with that. Because you got these women looking for a man who making a certain amount of money and so forth. Some guys work in the warehouse, some guys are industrial guys, some guys computer technicians or what have you.
Yeah.
So I felt like he was kind of pushing elitism, but at the same time, when he spoke in regards to women and their value, we got to understand a lot of ladies have a misconception on their value. They truly do. And he's 100% right on that. Because if a woman doesn't understand that, listen, if you at a certain age and you have a certain amount of, for lack of better terms, baby fathers, and You got to understand where you fit at in all of this.
Yeah,
I agree with Kevin Samuels on that. And sometimes the modern woman, the women in general need a mirror held up to them so they can know where they fit in, so they can find that suitable mate for them,
yeah,
opposed to chasing a unicorn and believing they are more value than they actually
yeah,
are.
yeah. Their stocks has gotten off the
Hmm.
roof, and it's been overly priced and overly valued for
Hmm.
at least the last 30 to 40 years.
Absolutely.
I would go. I would say maybe a good solid. It's gotten worse. You understand? It was like because I remember even in the '80s. I'm 50 years old. You know, you had you play around, but then you settle down with a good guy. That was a thing. Now it's like you want to continue playing around. You don't want the good guy. You want the guy that's unreasonable to you, and you want that guy who is out of your lane to be faithful to only you, and you're going crazy trying to establish that illusion, and despite all the evidence against you, it's almost it's become a mental illness to some degree. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's not healthy, man. And more
It
than
really
ever,
is.
I think not in in a thousand years, I never expected that it would be a thing that um it's gonna get this bad that polygamy or plural marriage polygamy is gonna be a thing that it's like it's gonna be part of the conversation of the awakening of our people. That makes sense, because
Absolutely.
you as a man growing up in a scenario that um, that you grew up in a monogamous scenario, you feel a little subconscious about talking about plural marriage
Right.
because it has a
A stigma.
a stigma of lust, and you're not mature, or you're not, why are you thinking about that? That's not important, that type of. So you kind of ashamed about it, but now I believe it's becoming a thing that we have to talk about it. We got to
Oh
talk
yeah.
about it. It's because is is discussing it's going to be part of our salvation to some degree
Hmm.
because it's going to be those women that are smart and say, you know what, I'm going to share this man because he's a good man rather than going with somebody who will lie to me and still cheat on me. I know who this other man is laying with. She's my friend. She look after my kids. She loves me as just as much I love her. We are building together. We're putting our resources together. Those are the people going to survive at the end, man.
Absolutely.
It's not
And,
going to
and
be these women that are running around thinking that Kim Kardashian is the role model. What say
and
you?
you're absolutely right. And I don't think a lot of ladies understand that polygyny is more beneficial to them than us.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a bombshell right there. What I just said, bombshell. I'm telling you.
Shots fire. Shots fire. Absolutely.
It's more
Absolutely.
beneficial because we live in a society. If it was about quote unquote lust, right? Listen, we have access to women, all kind of women. If brothers wanted to, it could be ladies of the night. It could be they're accessible. I mean,
Yeah.
literally from a telephone, from an app, from whatever the case may be. That's not an issue. If it was quote unquote lust, brothers can just scour the streets, and there's a lot of loose women out here. They loose.
Yeah.
I'm telling it like it is, right? But it's more beneficial to the woman because it takes a man of honor and integrity to say, listen, you are my woman. You are under my fold.
Yeah.
Whether you be a concubine or a wife, you're under me. You have protection, you have direction, you have a man that you can come to.
Yeah.
On top of that, you have sister wives who can help you, opposed to you working all hours of the night, all hours of the day, worrying about your children and what company they in. Guess
Hmm.
what? You have that sister wife that can protect you, help you. You have friendship. And listen, in the current climate we in right now, there's a lot of conniving women backstabbing, aiming for your man, ladies,
Yeah.
that you are in confines with. And the reason being because the pick of the litter is short.
Yeah.
It ain't too many brothers out there that are righteous, responsible, have integrity, morality. It ain't too many of that. So when you find one of these brothers, instead of everything being in the open, these women are gunning for these guys. You understand? Because
Yeah.
it's a competitive thing opposed to a sisterhood.
So
But if you can
yeah,
embrace that sisterhood, it's beneficial to you. Men can just, and I'm saying it's been more beneficial to y'all because men, if it's all about sex, they can access that. I'll leave it at that. One of these brothers, everything.
right. And to be honest with you, a lot of the reasons why we do all what we do is because sex is a biological need for man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that we won't die. We will die if we don't have it, but it is a biological situation that if we don't get it, it could lead to depression, low testosterone. Because if you don't need to bring out your testosterone, your semen out for no reason, right? You're not chasing. Okay, your body is telling you, okay, you don't have to stay in shape. You don't have to survive because part of the chase is part of bring a woman home, create a family. I have to keep my physical appearance and my able to protect my family because that's what a man does. Man is the image of God. God creates. So what do men do? They create. Because sisters, it is that semen that goes in you, and you, yes, you're the mother earth. You present the nurture. You nurture his seed. So that's the reason why he's seeking. And sometimes what a man is seeking is for the right body in his family. Let me explain. In Christ, right? In the body of Christ, you have the body of Christ is made up of different members. And when a man is looking to start his home, he looks for his staff, the people that are going to be one under him. And the first staff, the first senior or minor partner is his wife, right? But his wife may not have all the skills that he requires. That's why in the ancient world, a wife always came with a handmaid, an assistant, because it was never understood or accepted, or it was thought it would be okay that the responsibility of a wife taking care physically the man, raising his children, keeping the house clean, that's a job for multiple people.
Yep.
So women are thinking now that, or they've been brainwashed that a woman staying home, taking care of all the responsibilities, is supposed to be the labor of one person. It's never supposed to be that way. That's why you feel bitter. And when he comes on, what do you say? Can you help me with the dishes? I'm tired. Mm-hmm. But if you had a midwife and you had another wife or two, your job is light, baby. You come, your husband will come home that night. You're not irritable. You're not upset. You're not frustrated. You have shared the load with your sister wives, so you're happier. Dinner is ready because you only got to cook two times a week.
Absolutely.
Because your other wife, you got to share responsibility. This week you do this. Next week I do that. Light, many hands make light work. So that will put you, and by nature, women, you are tribal. So you're not by yourself in the house all day with the kids. You got someone to talk to, an adult. You can plan the week. I'm telling you, sister, you will be the happiest you will ever imagine if you follow my advice and Brother Nubreed advice. Stop opening up the real discussion of saying, you know what? These guys are right, man. Let me try it. Just try it out for a while. You can walk away anytime you want, right?
That's some good advice, Elder, because, hey, a lot of these ladies out here and a lot of these fellas, too, y'all done tried a lot of other things. Y'all done been in all kind of twists and turns, toxic relationships. Y'all done been through hell and brimstone. Y'all done been in hell and back twice. So we might as well put our culture in play and see how that pans out.
Try it out.
And, yeah, real talk. And I think that this is an excellent segue to this video we're going to.
Yeah, let's drop this video. Let's drop this video. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, because I believe that there's a cognitive dissonance because this whole modern woman push that the media pushes, they push it through the music, they push it through entertainment, and it's a cognitive dissonance with our ladies. And they began to worship and reverence themselves to a point of no avail, and they've been so inflated they don't understand that you can't be so entitled when the current climate is what it is in society. But let's
Yeah.
go to this video here
Let's
with
check
no
out.
further ado. B. Simone. So, ladies and gentlemen, B. Simone speaks on MLK. Yeah, that's right, Martin Luther King. She speaks on his fight for freedom. And then she begins to speak on him cheating on his wife.
Mm-mm.
Quite an interesting clip right here. I want y'all to, everybody, pound the like button because this warrants a reaction. And we're going to be giving this reaction here. So here we go.
It's triggering. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm a good dad.
Oh,
You're
hold on. Is this the beginning?
not a good dad because you don't respect me.
Hold on. Let's.
Let's.
It's more important, the fact that Martin Luther King is the man that fought for freedom, or the fact that he was cheating on his wife. Jesus, I'm gonna give you this example.
See, that question right there alone is crazy. What's more important, that he was fighting for freedom or he cheated on his wife?
For that to be even a question, is showing the arrogance and the overinflating importance of that subject matter within the women community. Because now women, they have become a community to themselves. They are a subsection of issues. I mean, even brother Ice Cube learned that when he went to a women's show, Vivica Fox show podcast, and he put a plan that he presented to Donald Trump and Biden, right? Biden met with him. Donald Trump met with him, but Biden did not. But that's a different conversation.
Right.
And they were saying when he went on the Vivica Fox show, where in this bill or in this presentation to help economically speaking, socially, politically, the black community, where is the place where you address black women? So sisters, I love you, man, but you guys are thinking that you guys are a political block or a separate species from your black man.
Yeah. That's 100%.
And I understand that there are certain issues that are catering to genders, right? Women have to deal with childbirth. A man doesn't have to, go deal with that. So I'm pretty sure that they want to pass some laws dealing with insurance or making sure that women are protected medically and they have, enough coverage to protect their children and give the best medicine or treatment for the children. All those issues that I could see. I mean, as a father, I could also relate to that. But there's certain things that women politically may want to address. But to the point that the black community, or there is a bill for the black community, and here we have an opportunity. This brother who made his fortune in the rap industry, but now has created enough status that he's able to run, put together a proposal and meet with presidents. She, instead of congratulating him, instead of saying, I'm going to benefit from this as a black person if this thing is successful. No, we can't move forward until my issues are addressed.
Right.
Women are becoming delusional. We have to discuss about that. We have to have a conversation.
And listen, the fact that was a question, what's more important, what's more prominent and prevalent? Martin Luther King's fight for freedom, not just for black men, his fight for freedom for quote unquote black people, the nation of Israel, our people. Just the fact that this is a question is just mind boggling. And, this is coming from a woman. I don't know if you know this, Elder.
Yeah.
With B. Simone. This is a woman who doesn't even shower, Elder. She doesn't shower every day. She's on record. She's on docket.
I saw that.
Exactly.
I mean, when she says, come up, my nigga, I realize, okay, this is a hood rat. Okay, I know what we're talking about here. This is the
right.
emotional, this is low intelligence, high emotion, not educated, not understanding human nature, history. This is a low intelligence sister that is for the streets, well, unfortunately. And these are the women that they are putting in front of our women as role models. We have to talk about them.
Yep, these are the women that the media is plastering all over the place. And her whole take on Martin Luther King, quote unquote, cheating or going to get him other women. Listen, that right there is just, we're going to get into that. I don't want to say too much. I'm going to play a little
listen,
more.
Even Martin Luther King's wife, the FBI, found out that Martin had another woman aside because he used to travel. And sometimes he used to miss, he needs to release as a man. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to talk about that. And for men to be in the right state of mind, man, what that brother did, none of those sisters that are complaining about that ever got hit by rocks marching for rights that we are now taking advantage of. And the brother couldn't, what is so important about your vagina, sisters? That a brother in the black community, a well-known, well-respected globally, is you are now dragging in the mud because you found out that he had another woman. And when the FBI found out he had another woman, they actually called his wife to try to have his wife come against him. And you know what she did? You know what that righteous woman did? Stand by her man.
Yep.
You don't have one expose, one book written by his wife talking about Martin is no good. He ain't no this because he cheated on me. She understood, you know what? This man is doing something more important than my vagina.
Yep.
And I understand what the FBI is trying to do here. To try to destroy the people of color that are trying to get their rights. But this woman has the audacity to disrespect our black leaders. We have to talk about this, man.
Real talk. Absolutely.
Some hood rat talking about he ain't a good man. He's all right because he cheated on his wife. You got to listen, these sisters, man, got to get checked. You're not that important, mama. Real talk. This Hollywood, this love, I drink your bath water and all that, and you're the queen and all that. That's a love song, mama. That's a love song. That's all. But you think that's reality? You think that's what we actually do? You think men would drink your bath water, mama? You actually believe that? It's a love song, baby. It's okay.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna allow her to speak her sentiments, and we're gonna chime in.
Yes, sir.
He's a great father. He's a great businessman. He's a great CEO. He's an entrepreneur. He's such a boss. He's a boss. Look at that man. He's a boss. He's a great father. Look at him, that strong black man. Look at him being at his kid's game. But you're cheating on your wife.
So basically, all you quote unquote high value men, all you men who are about, responsibility, taking care of your family, your children, even taking care of her clothes, food, shelter, and raiment, what the Bible tells you, you need to give your wife, right? All you brothers out here who fighting for freedom, have morality, all you brothers out here who want to set your people free and would die for it. You would literally die for your people. To the modern woman, none of that matters. His fight for freedom, none of it mattered because of what? He had other women. If we don't see that that's a problem in our society, I don't know what to say. Elder, feel free to share your sentiments on.
It's a mental illness, man. It's a mental illness. It's happening within women, specifically women of color. Latinas too, but in white women, but women of color are leading this thing because we need to understand that the tribe of Judah have a special gift, and it's a curse too. When our father Jacob lay down on his deathbed, was about to pass to the next life, he sat down with his brother. He said, Judah, the gathering of the people will be through you, and the scepter of Judah will not depart from him. So Judah has a natural leadership quality about him, regardless of what he does. Negative or positive. So, sister, you're from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin Levi, because that term Jew became part of the Judean government that separated from Israel. We all know the history. So you could be one of those 3 tribes. But specifically Judah, the black person or in America need to understand that you have a special gift from all the other tribes. Every tribe has a gift. Every tribe was giving a prophecy by his father. And Judah has the prophecy that our father told Judah, the gathering of the people will be through you, and the scepter will not depart from you. Mm-hmm. So anything that you do becomes a trend, negative and positive. So when good men do nothing, bad man prevails. When good women do nothing, bad women prevail. I want every single sister right now who is agreeing with us, not only send us do a thumbnail. Do a thumbs up, like and subscribe. All that's good, but I want you to start your own channel and start talking against these type of things, because you are not helping these women by staying silent. You're not helping these women by agreeing with them. You're not helping these women by just simply say, I don't want to get involved.
Yep.
Because this is going to be a battle it's a mental battle. Is a info war. Is war of information. Is the war of narrative. Whoever wins the narrative, whoever narrative is out there and is going viral, that's the narrative people are going to go by. Oh, that's what people are doing now. Okay, that's okay now. It's okay to disrespect Martin Luther King now because, he cheated on his wife, right?
Right.
If we allow it, it becomes reality. So all sisters that agree with us, we need you too, sisters. You need to start getting in the front line and start speaking about these evil sisters. We talk about these evil brothers that are out here all the time. We check each other all the time. Where are the sisters at?
Exactly. And I think that everybody need to understand there's a clean-cut difference between Derek Jackson, who was kind of like fleecing the flock, manipulating the people, and a Martin Luther King being commented on by a woman who don't even wash her ass. You understand?
Exactly.
This woman don't wash her ass. She's a model woman pushed to the forefront, disrespecting a pillar in our community. And at this point, we got to understand. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's something his wife didn't do. So what right, if his wife wasn't complaining about it, mind your damn business, woman.
Exactly. But you know what? They always take the opportunity. Same way the FBI, CIA, they take the opportunities to try to destroy our reputations. We can't allow the possessiveness, the selfishness, the vindictiveness of the modern woman to do the same damn thing the FBI and CIA trying to do to us. You mean to tell me if I die and I go down in history for a freedom fighter of my people that I love and I went down for,
you better not cross a woman.
You sitting here, and I had me a woman or two, because I'm gonna just say this off break. If you out here living this life, you being gang stalked, persecuted, isolated, ostracized, targeted, pulled over all the time because you speaking some truth, I think you deserve to have you a few women out here where you can get a release. Yes, you deserve it. I said it.
You deserve it if you are listen, brother. Not only that, you deserve it if you're a bus driver. It's how God made you.
Exactly. If you working that 9 to 5, hustling, bustling, you breaking your back, you hurt your knees getting beat up, you going to the job every day, you doing sheet metaling. Listen, you should have you some women in your life that can relieve you as a man.
Exactly.
But we got these 304s who put on the mainstream that would demonize Martin Luther King. What has she contributed to society?
Other than not, save some water by not taking a bath every other day,
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But being a thought pocket and being out here in the community, spreading this rhetoric here, who is she to speak on Martin Luther King? It has to come a time where we make a decision and a choice.
Yeah. And brothers, man. And
which side you going to be on in this?
Yeah, listen. And brothers, man, don't be coming on these women's shows, man.
Fact.
Boycott these sisters, man. Boycott these women that are hood rats leading our young sisters, our young daughters in the wrong path. Because even if you disagree with them, right, and you coming on their show and you bringing your point and she bringing her point, you are giving her context to promote her nonsense. If she's by herself and nobody's taking her seriously, you know what she's gonna say? I only either have to change my image or I'm gonna become insignificant.
Yep.
But by you going in these shows and arguing with them and giving them context, giving them things to go viral, you give them like some level of. It's like sometimes, you know, I get invited to certain conversation, and I'm like, I'm open to have any. I'm very liberal to have certain conversation, but certain conversation, even certain debates, it's not worth debating because it's like it's clearly wrong. And it's been proven to be wrong. By me debating this with you, we give the illusion that there is a debate on both sides on certain things that's clearly wrong. I don't know if I'm making sense. Meaning, if you go into a woman who is literally out of her mind, and she's becoming popular because of that, but you're going into her show, her podcast, and feeding her data, information, feedback. You're empowering her because now she feels, oh, I'm getting attention.
Exactly.
If she starts watching her channel and it's going down to like 50-something views because no one's taking her serious because she's a joke, and that's what she is, a joke. You can't take these women seriously. These are our leaders. These are women we're going to have a discussion with. We have to start elevating ourselves, man. These women should not be, no one should be taking these hood rats seriously. Uneducated, they haven't traveled, they don't know anything. They just got an opinion. They grew up in the Bronx and they think that they somehow have an opinion worth hearing. You don't know nothing. You haven't been out your block. You haven't experienced.
Absolutely. And you know what? And if you listen to what they're saying, they just dig a deeper plot for themselves. They dig a deeper plot for themselves, and it's just all about discernment. And you ladies, y'all really got to choose a side. I'm so happy Elder brung that out and said, listen, y'all got to start really listening to the leaders that they put in place and don't get inundated with this nonsense. I'm gonna finish off with whatever points that she was attempting to make.
Yeah, let's hear this.
Let's finish it on off.
It's comedy.
You're not a good husband, but he's great in all these other aspects. How are you a great leader, a great CEO, a great black man? You're not great. You're not great.
So no matter what.
Let me answer that. I'm sorry, brother. Let me answer that. All the men that have had their names in history books were not monogamous. Give me one. Give me great conquerors. Give me great leaders. People that invented and great men either did two things. Two things. They were great. They either left women alone altogether.
Yep.
Or they had multiple wives. Prove me wrong.
And y'all feel free to throw some names in the chat too.
Most men that are leaders don't stay faithful to one wife. Look at most guys that are multi-billionaire. They got multiple wives.
Yep.
They got, they could afford it, right? They could pay. They could afford paying. Look at Donald Trump. It's a good example. How many times he's been married? How many times he got caught cheating, going to Russia with these Russian hookers and all that? And I'm not condoning that. What I'm saying is every great man or every man that is a trailblazer, let me just say that, is either two things: not dealing with women at all or dealing with multiples.
Exactly.
So now we have to remove all the term great inventors, great men. If they ever cheated or have multiple wives or what have you, they're no longer great according to this hood rat.
Right. Exactly. No matter what it is they do, they put their hands to the plow. They done freed people. Martin Luther King's work is commendable. What he did is he showed. And at the end of Martin Luther King's life, just to bring this up, he said, listen, he felt like he led his people into a burning building. Mm-hmm. That in itself is him understanding that it was a bubble in society.
Yeah.
Him just saying that, and he ended up dying sporadically and shrouded in mystery, like a lot of brothers.
Yeah.
Why? Because his heart and his intentions was in the right place, because he really wanted to break that bubble.
Yeah.
And this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable with this woman here. And I want to say something as well. I see some names in the chat, people throwing up certain names. Yeah, we're gonna play a little bit more of the video, and then I'll chime in a
Yeah.
little bit more.
And I want to hear these names. Let's hear these names.
I see Farrakhan in the building. I see Muhammad Ali. I see JFK. Well, JFK definitely had more than one woman. A lot
Yeah.
of them.
Muhammad Ali. You got Farrakhan. I know he's been married to his wife for a long time, but that religion allowed multiple women, so I don't know his situation.
Somebody threw Bill Clinton up in the mix.
I mean,
Okay.
what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if you're going to say, if a man decides to have another woman, whatever he did in his life is unvoid,
Right.
because your feelings got hurt because he chose to lay with another woman outside of you. You are delusional, lady. This is a delusional scenario, and if we allow it, and then and we if we allow this chick to think that she's normal, yeah, she's gonna probably find, because she's cute, young, right, and she's always gonna find an idiot to deal with to her. She's gonna find some dude that he's gonna believe. Oh, I think I could conquer this chick, and there may be a dude out there, but these women should be a piranha. There should be women that no one is dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
You should not be in a scenario that you have to think about conquering a woman to be with her. You got to go through all these mountains and hills just to tame her. You're not that important, baby, mama. I'll go overseas, give me a nice chick. And I'm telling you, this is an American issue, man, because I'm Latino. Spanish sisters in other countries and all that, and Asian sister in some parts of Africa and things of that nature, men don't have to deal with all this nonsense. This is an American invention. This is an American concoction. When you go to other parts of the different worlds, you start speaking to other women from different parts of the world. They don't think like these sisters out here in the hood, these hood rats.
They really don't. For real.
So us men have to stop thinking that these are the only women around. American Western women, loud ass, short hair, half naked women. These are the ones they're pushing.
Yep.
Ignore them.
Real talk. That is real talk. All right, so let's continue this. Let's finish this off here.
God, you're not. That is triggering.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm a good dad. You're not a good dad because you don't respect me. How the fuck you showing these kids you a good father and you don't respect their mother?
All right, so first and foremost, here's the thing. Elder done a video some time ago about women believing that monogamy, that they deserve that monogamy. They deserve
It's a right.
That there's a right
Yeah.
to have that one man that's to them their entire life. And it's gotten to the point where there's some vagina worship going on in this society. You got a lot of ladies believing that they are the know all be all. They're worshiping themselves to the point where they believe that no man should ever desire anything outside of them. And if he does desire anything outside of him, outside of her, there's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
There's something extremely wrong. He's a bad person, no matter what he do in life. We talking about a grown man, no matter what he does in his entire life. If he step out on her, that's it. It's something wrong. I don't know what kind of MK Ultra they under. I don't know what kind of brainwashing techniques society done put on them. I mean, when you listen to Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and everything, all you hear is my PUS and this, that, and the third. That's all you hear on the radio all day. I don't know if they believe that when a man crossed that threshold, that it's supposed to be. I don't know what they've been inundated with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the Pfizer, the Moderna, or the Johnson & Johnson. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but that's not the nature of men. Derek Jackson, I want to use that as an example again because I spoke on that today. his wife was an attractive woman. The woman he got with was attractive. It doesn't matter how much upkeep. It doesn't matter how how much you keep it together, ladies. A man's nature is a man's nature. The sooner you realize that and understand that, the sooner we can get out of this captivity and this slavery that we in. Seriously.
But let me say this about that brother, because I saw some of his channel, and you could clearly see, the women that he deals with are extremely beautiful sisters, and this is no homo, but that brother's a good looking, in shape brother, intelligent. He's surprised. Matter of fact, in the statistics, I would say he's better looking than them, because when you remove all that makeup off of women, whoever's a 10 goes down to a 9. Whoever's a 9 goes down to an 8. Matter of fact, makeup's gotten so good, you could have 6 walking around here looking like a 10.
Hey, that's true. There is some makeup out there that can change a woman's
let me tell you, if this sister will be having that same conversation with no makeup, the way she looks up in the morning, just wash her face, brush her teeth, and look regular, the same thing that we do. And see, that's the envy that some women have, because they'll call us men ugly, blah, 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 but we don't have to do much. We don't have to stay in the front of a mirror 2-3 hours just to go out and get some milk. We could just wash our face, brush our teeth, right? Put a little lotion on our face, put our clothes on, hood, comb our hair, we out. And it could still get some numbers just with our game. Yep. Women have to literally do a circus act, before they go outside and things of that nature. And what I'm trying to say is, sisters, get away from attracting men through your looks. You're attracting the wrong kind of dude. Anyway, it should be your shameful personality, your humble demeanor, your feminine energy. That's where your power lies on. You want to find good men? I got a challenge for you, sisters. Try this for a month. Reduce the makeup. Just put just a little high, just minimum makeup, and learn books on femininity, and work on your femininity for a month. And don't say words like "my nigga." Don't curse for a whole month. So I'm gonna act like a lady for a month, and I'm gonna reduce my makeup, and I will guarantee you will probably get more quality men than what the men that you're getting now.
That is a fact.
Cursing itself is a masculine energy. Women should not be out there, grabbing their crotch like they're a dude. They learned that from us.
Exactly.
So stop getting your lane. Don't try to act like a dude, because you're not a dude. You're a woman. And men that deal with women like this with this masculine energy, you are aiding and abetting a delusional person, because if she could still get dates and all that, she thinks I'm not as crazy as I really am. Leave these women alone, man. They're not healthy. You got to ignore them, and we have to start seeking from, sisters that are not in the social media every 5 minutes talking about their opinion.
Right. Ken Wilcox says city girls culture has taken over the BW. It's over for them mostly. Yeah, and it is that culture. And this is who they plastering in the front line. Listen, Elder just dropped a bunch of gems, rubies, and stones, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, as a man, I love when a woman is just feminine. It ain't all about the whistles and bells. She can be a very average looking sister. But if she have that femininity and I'm around her and I know I'm dealing with a woman, this is a woman right here. She want to be in the protection of a man. She want to be under my arm. She has that subtleness to her. She's not aggressive in her ways. I love that. It don't matter. The looks, I mean, I'm dead serious. The looks, I've been with some beautiful women. I'm sure, it is what it is. Brothers got access to beautiful women, but when a woman is feminine, like really feminine, that supersedes everything, bro.
Yeah.
Like real talk, that supersedes everything. That's a fact. So y'all,
you give me a 6 over a 10 every day. That's feminine, obedient, cooperative, loves me, cares for me, I stay with that all day over a 10 because after a while, let's keep it real, guys. All the 10s start looking like a 9 after a few years. Then that 9 start looking as a 10, an 8, and that 8 start looking as a 7. And women need to understand, okay, men peak later. So you could start as a 10, and he could start as a 7. But once he starts getting his confidence, his money up, and your age starts going diminishing, that number's gonna flip. You're gonna be the 7, he's gonna be the 10. It happens all the time.
Right. And you know, with a lot of these sisters out here, you be fine as all outdoors, and then that turkey turn into ham.
And it's
You
over.
ain't learned, when that turkey turn to ham, is it. You haven't learned, if you haven't learned how to properly have that spiritual insight and that voltage in you. Listen, some women don't age gracefully. They start off fine, and that's why the Bible says that beauty is vain. So exactly, Nyla said it too in the chat, but that's a fact.
Yeah, do the numbers. Do all the actresses versus all the male actors that are been in Hollywood. That in comparison, how many of them of their females had to take plastic surgery versus the male? You got brothers like Tom Cruise. That he's in his 60s. You got like brother. You understand what I'm saying? You got men that they could still hold their own much later. You understand? Even Denzel, he could hit the gym, get back in shape, do another movie, The Equalizer. He's back in his game. Yep. And he's in his 60s. What I'm saying, sister, you got to understand your value. Your value is only between like really 20 to 35. After that, I would even say 20 to 29 in regards of your peak of your beauty. And you could be hot and a difficult woman, and that could ride with you for the first 10 years. But after you're 30, you better start learning a personality quick.
Yep.
Because the dudes that were tolerating your nonsense when you're in your 20, 21, everything is perky, they're not going to be tolerated when you're 35. They ain't going to be, mama, you ain't that hot. Relax. You're over the hill now. 45. And these chicks be out here 45, 50 thinking they're still ballers. Look at Vivica A. Fox.
Yeah.
Pretty woman. But you could tell she had some work done. 50 Cent, right? Has not done any work outside just working out and what have you. And he could still pull a sister younger than Vivica A. Fox. And I know Vivica A. Fox and Mr. 50 were dating when I think that, about 10, 20 years ago. I forget. Mm-hmm. They were playing, they were dating for a while. And the rumor is that she really loved him. She really wanted to be with him. But 50 is like, Ma, you're not in my level. And what sisters need to understand, they have to work twice as hard to stay. When you look at the most successful women versus the most successful men. A good example, look at Mr. Ye versus Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian, you could tell she had some work done. Just to keep up. For us dudes, all we got to do is take a shower. Not like these sisters doing. This is, she takes every other
not
week.
like B. Simone. So
right, exactly.
Yeah, B. Simone, she keeping it funky, Elder.
Exactly.
I had to have that in there. She out here just living wild style.
Exactly. So sisters, you got to start with the jealousy. God created man first. We was the main purpose of this planet. You came in as a helpmate, not someone that we now have to spend to make you guys the bane of our existence. You're supposed to be, you was created for us. We were not created for you. And men have to understand their value. We're more valuable than women. I said it.
Oh, man, that's a bombshell, Elder, right there. That's a bombshell. And hey, listen, once the ladies understand that, then we can reach our proper place. This
exactly.
This is red pill. Listen, the Bible's red pill for the record, right? There's an order to things. Once women understand our value and that they need to be following as we lead, hey, listen, this nation is going to go exactly where it needs to go. Just understand the value of brothers who are set up for you. They're there. You ladies just gotta understand that. That's real talk.
Absolutely. And brother Rose Dory, I think you know brother Rose Ross, there
Uh,
from what's his YouTube channel? I think you interview him. If I can
bro,
find, he
I
called.
interviewed who? What's his name?
Let's see here, brother Rose, brother Rose Dory Darry. I think you interview. I think you was on his channel a few back. I know he's called. I don't know if you want to comment. But let's finish this video here. I think we
Okay, let's
the
finish
last.
this video, and then if y'all want to open up for questions, are you free for that, Elder?
Yeah. If people want to call in, it'll
Well,
probably
I'll let
best.
them in.
Yeah, they
What
could
I'll
probably
do is
call in on your end because then they're probably best because I gotta set it up.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll finish this video here.
You're not a great dad, my nigga. You're an okay human.
So no matter how good of a father, let me go. Let me play it.
Someone being a good person to you means they're a good person to you. Someone being a good person to everyone means that they're a good person. It's more important. The fact that Martin Luther King is the man that fought for freedom or the fact that he was cheating on his wife.
Okay, so it went back. So basically, the modern woman believes no matter how good of a father you are, if you fighting for freedom, you getting stones to your head, you willing to die for your people, you out here edifying the people, waking people up. The modern woman believes none of that matters if you get caught cheating.
None of that. All that does is take if you said you are all right, you're okay. You're not
Yeah,
great
you just
if you kill
yep.
cancer and you cheated on your wife. You just all right.
Yeah, you're not a man of truth or substance at that point.
Right. Because
Right.
everything trumps
So
my vagina and you choosing another vagina besides mine. That's the most important thing ever. That's true, and like I
exactly.
say, is these low intelligent, high emotional women that are halfway decent, pretty, and thank God for them. Thank God. Thank they should thank the make of gods, whoever that is. What was the angel that taught women to beautify their eyes in the book of Enoch? Thank that God. Thank that
Right.
fallen angel. Because if there was no makeup, or there was no stingers makeup, women have to walk around like men, the way we walk, just regular.
Exactly.
It would be a different conversation, man. Because this makeup, it's like a demon possession.
It sure is. I mean, they changing the structure of their face. I don't know if it was Azazel, if it was the
It was
angel
one
that
of those fallen angels. Yeah.
yeah, it was one of them. But yeah, I mean, it's straight up witchcraft. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And elder, let me say this, man. You're very, sir, you're very wise when it comes to the history of polygyny. You understand how the Western world has been, for lack of better terms, brainwashed,
Yeah.
or even you even know the semantics on how it was introduced here and how it went against the natural order of things.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure when people come in, some of the questions they're gonna ask um, are probably gonna be revolving around that. And
Sure.
this is why I love building with Elder Gabar, because he's more, listen, he's definitely more apt to teach on this than I am. I look at everything from, more so I look at society and where we at, and I try to just logically piece it together the best way I can. But Elder got all the history. I have some of the history. He got all the history. So feel free to ask Elder Gabar if you're on my side, coming from Nubreed Global Truth, in regards to polygyny from a biblical perspective. If you have some type of disnomers in your mind, if you have questions, feel free to ask, because we come before y'all willing to answer y'all questions. It's not
Yeah.
like we teach something with some type of agenda and we're trying to push it. And I even had a sister come in the chat on my last video, said he just want an excuse to have more than one woman. Listen, a man don't need an excuse to have more than one woman. If a man want to be of the world, he will be of the world, have as many women as he want.
Yeah.
We got to go through the fire to teach this. So we're willing to answer all your questions so you can understand that this is about nation building. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share the link. And feel free, ladies, please, ladies, feel free to come in and join, because I want y'all to be able to ask the right questions and understand where brothers is coming from. If you have been catching this entire broadcast, and you may be a little bit straddling the fence and you just want to know. You got questions, right?
Right. And for the record, I just want to say, brothers and sisters, we having a conversation. I know sometimes we get emotional about it, and we have to get our voice raised. But if you disagree, we go have a respectful conversation, and we'll be okay. It ain't at the end of the world. We just have a conversation about it. That's all.
Exactly. So feel free to join the link. Here's what I would ask. Hold up, let me see. Let me get this off here. I would rather that your camera's off. Let me see here. Let me get this screen. All right, here we go. All right, so the link is in the chat. In the meantime, in between time, and also if y'all have questions and you want to put them in the chat, and you shy or whatever the case may be, you can ask them in the chat as well. But I prefer y'all come on through and speak your mind. Brothers, y'all free to join too if you disagree. I only want brothers to join the link if you disagree, for whatever reason you disagree with this topic. Come on through. Calvin says the audio is low. Has everybody heard us? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear you heard the entire stream and the audio sufficed. It was good enough. Y'all can hear it.
Yeah, and also my end, if people could hear me as well, and also Nubreed, I haven't gotten any complaints, so.
Yeah, I seen one earlier, but that's the second time I seen that.
So a 1 means we good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay. I'm getting ones too in my end too.
All right, so I don't know what.
Maybe raise your volume your end. Maybe that's what it is. Sometimes you forget. They have low it. They have.
I think my volume is actually at the max.
Yeah, you sound good in my end. You sound real good.
Yeah, it's definitely at the max. Yep.
Yeah, so we're good in my end.
All right. Cool. All right. Let's see. Let me share the link one more time. And everybody in here may be in agreement, and everybody in here may be edified.
Absolutely. And let me put the link for people if they wanna call in. There will be a link, or how they wanna. I'm gonna put your link right on the super chat. I mean the chat there. I'm sorry, and then people could just go on your channel and get the link that way. Brother Nubreed?
Right. Yes, they could do that. Yeah.
Okay. And also, I think.
What do you think of this comment right here, Elder? From Love God. I'll allow you to answer, to respond to that.
Okay.
You can see it on the screen, right?
Let's see. Yes, I can see it. Just read it for me. Let me see what we have here.
It says God allowed polygamy in the Bible. He did not approve it.
Yeah, see, that's that Western mind of thinking. You have to put because the Greek philosopher or Hellenistic thinking approach to life, religion, politics, or what have you, is from a perspective of logic. What is logical to you? So usually when the Greeks used to argue about different gods or different approach to this, that, and the other, they used to debate with each other, and whatever debate made more sense or won the people or made more logic won the debate of the day. Mm-hmm. So what happened is that when people see polygyny in the Bible and they don't see it today, they use logic from a Western perspective, not from a ancient Judean first century person. We were not taught, it wasn't Hebrews during the time of Christ and before him was not having these conversations that, God did not want it to have poor women or marriage, whatever, but he allowed it. That's an American Western philosophy. God did not have to do something different that he didn't want him to do because of us. There's not examples in the Bible. God said, these are my laws. You should not add or take away from them. So when you look at the 5 books of Moses, and you got in the Bible and says if a man has 2 wives and one he doesn't like and the other one, or he likes one before the other, because the word hate and love was sometimes not as we view hate and love. It means dislike less. So if you have 2 wives and one you dislike less than the other one, you're not allowed to give the one that you like more the firstborn son right to her son. The firstborn son that you have, regardless whether you may have 3 wives, and the first one was not the one that you like the most for whatever reason. You're not allowed to give the one that you like, although it may be the 3rd son or the 4th son or the 2nd son, the right of the birthright. It's not by wife, it's by the first son you have. So I have a son and a daughter, right? But let's just say my daughter was a son, and I had 2 sons. My first son, his mother and I, we don't get along. We never had. He's still my birthright. He's still my first son. So I'm saying that to say this. In the Bible, once God allowed it, if a man has 2 wives and one loves, one he hates, and he goes into it, it's showing you that God is allowing multiple women. He doesn't have to say, well, I'm allowing this, but I don't really want you to do this. God is not, that's not his personality. That's never been his personality. What he means is what he said when he says what he means. And because we cannot find it in the Bible, well, he allowed it, but he didn't want it. That is an American Western way of thinking. That's a new way of thinking. Because you can't find that in the Old or New Testament. There's never in the Bible says that God says, I allow polygamy, but I did not want it to be. Now, we could find example when he actually says that I don't have desire, I don't find any pleasure in your sacrifice. So now we could see we have something sustainable. We could read and say, okay, God was feeling sacrifice. He wanted us to be obedient to him. So we got something we could go and say, okay, this is what God thinks. But what you just said, brother, is philosophy and it's dangerous.
Right.
I know the Bible every single day in a modern world is getting more outdated because we are modern people in America. That's not the Bible's fault. That's our fault.
Exactly. And there's another question. Thank you for that, Elder. I appreciate you answering that question. There's another question here. If you don't mind, I want to answer this one right here.
Okay.
She says, I have a question. So the only difference between in biblical times and now is the plague of sexual disease. How does polygyny process protect our flesh in these current times? Especially, I don't know if the question ended. I guess especially with, I don't know. We're just gonna put ... on that.
Yeah, she put diseases. Well, we always had diseases. First of all,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's always been diseases.
Yeah,
even in biblical times, the diseases was there. Number one,
right.
Number two, when you look at the lifestyles of most people nowadays, they're actually at higher risk of catching venereal diseases.
Monogamy increases diseases. Polygamy decrease.
Yep, because when people are under these quote unquote serial monogamous relationships that a lot of the times people are under, what end up happening is the man goes underground.
Exactly.
He begins to scour the streets for ladies of the night, 304s, harlots, and hood rats, instead of having his selective few women that he had in his corner that he's dealing with in this open transparency, and he has that situation.
Yeah,
everybody's clean, and plus, and let me say this as well. Let's not get too religious with this. Every man and woman should have a clean bill of health as well. We get our little daily checkups. I mean, not daily, monthly checkups. Make sure the pipes clean. Make sure everything is good. That still has to be done.
Yeah.
Because even in the polygynous union, if somebody, you step out of line or whatever the case may be, which is not, it's not likely, because they could choose to live like the rest of the world
Yeah.
opposed to dealing in a union such as polygyny.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, diseases have always been around. They will always be around. Um, a disease is a product of a person living unrighteously
Yeah.
and just out here, for lack of better terms, they're whoring.
Yeah.
And that's what these diseases are cultivating.
And
It's a
that's where the G
plague.
comes
It's like
from.
the Most High cursing you in that moment.
Yeah.
Um,
And because when you have a scenario, right, that you brainwash a young man, and he is born in a society that once he starts noticing females in the opposite sex, you start noticing his body is changing, his voice is changing, and he starts having girlfriends and dating and things of that nature. And the first thing that he is told, you can only have one. What it's going to do to that young man psychologically? This is what it's going to do. He's going to say, okay, I could only get one. Matter of fact, I even have heard even mothers and fathers said, listen, boy, don't get too serious. You're too young to have anything serious right now. Play around. What does that mean? Play around. But then what you done, get yourself a nice, good Christian woman and settle down with her. Mm-hmm. That's what now parents are telling kids. Settle down later. Don't get serious. Right? So automatically, he's already brainwashed to say, okay, I can only get one eventually. Let me try to smash every size, every shape, every nation, every nationality. You get what I'm saying? Because in your mind, you already said you're already in a time clock. You can only eventually end up with one. So that when you deprive somebody of something, that something becomes more attracted to that person. You become more addicted to it because you're psychologically saying you can only have one. But if you train the young man and say, brother, two things. You could have as much women that you want. Only two things. If you lay with them, there's your wife, and you have to take care of them. That automatically is going to get men to say, okay, let me get my game up. Let me be more choosy now. Because, listen, a lot of brothers will say, listen, brother, how many wives you want? Okay. Let me get 5. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. Brothers, how many women you have sex this year alone?
Ooh.
So if you look at a scenario, if you have a scenario, a brother will say, okay, let me start with one wife. He may start 25. That will be his young wife that he's struggling with, right? Then he's about 30, 32. He's established now. Okay, baby, you know what? We're both working. Let's bring another wife so then I could bring a child through her, or you could stay home and we could bring somebody else to help you out at the house because now I have enough money to take care of both of you guys, so you don't have to struggle. But let's bring another wife. And by the time he's 35, you know what, baby, let's get another wife. By the time he's 45, and let's say at the end he gets 5 women. But guess what? These are the only 5 women he ever seen naked. These are the only 5 women he lay with. These are the only 5 women he have children with. They live together and they're building an empire together. I was having sex with 5 women when I was in my 20s already. Monogamy does not work.
Exactly.
The data's there. And we're fighting against our nature. We're fighting because we got only ourselves to blame to this. Because we put ourselves in this situation. We should have fought this harder and harder, because this is all really started in the Reconstruction era after slavery. They needed to reconstruct the America and what is considered to be an American. And you have many Americans that were practicing polygamy or plural marriage before the 19th century. But what happened is the white blue bloods, the elite, felt that was considered to be a not European culture, and they felt if it's not European culture, it must be barbaric. It must be beneath us. And the world followed that theology and things of that nature. That's the reason why we're here. But it
Yeah, I
was
think
never originally the nature of man.
yes, Elder. You just made some pivotal points. You asked the brothers, how many women have you smashed in a year's time?
Right.
Right? Now, he asked that question for a reason because when you looking at society and the way that brothers is being brought up, I mean, the moment you in high school, junior high school, they give you what? A condom.
Mm-hmm.
That they tell you that this is quote unquote safe sex.
Mm-hmm.
But really what that condom is for is a badge to whoremonger.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you knew that the responsibility of having sex, a child could come out of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, this is your wife. You're actually pair bonding with this woman.
Right.
You're becoming one with this woman. You would think of things a little bit differently.
Right.
And believe it or not, y'all believe that these condoms is safe, quote unquote, safe sex. It's not safe sex. The only sex that's safe is no sex at all, period.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they give you this badge. You go out here, you desecrate as many women as you can. You're not taught the ways of a leader or a husband
Yeah.
or somebody who's tribal or somebody who's building a dynasty or a legacy. No, you are immediately taught the ways of a whoremonger,
Yeah.
how to acquire different women. And let's be 100% actual and factual. Brothers ain't even using them lids no more. They're not using them,
Yeah.
but they still smashing the same amount of women
Yeah.
per year, different women. So when we talking about diseases, um, I would believe the man that's out here living like that will
Yeah.
be at more risk than catching a disease than having his 3, 4, 5, 6 women, even 7 women, like Isaiah 4:1,
Right.
than just living out here reckless. It's just basic statistics and it's just facts.
Right.
You
And
know
we
what I'm
have to
saying? So
start. Listen, we have to start demanding for certain, well, not demanding, or start looking at certain things, right? Because a major problem that is happening is that we have these co-ed schools. Kids should not be going to schools with the opposite sex. Little girls, little boys in the same school. The girl's supposed to be in a different school, and the boy's supposed to be in a different school. Matter of fact, it's supposed to be a situation that the only time you see a woman, it's either your mom, your sister, and things of that nature. All your life, if you're a boy, you're supposed to be among men, teaching you, guiding you. You ain't supposed to be out there free with no guidance, hormones up to the wazoo, right? Seeing these little girls running around with these tight spandex. Spandex is of the devil, ladies. You're tempting men every single day. You're attracting the wrong kind of man. Cover your behind. That is a distraction to men. Nature, we will build to be attracted to that. You understand what I'm saying, ladies? And the reason why the culture doesn't show or present men in a position that they're always tempting women, because men by nature are more conservatively in regards to how we dress. We never out there with our shirt out and things of that nature, and our 6-packs and showing a little pubic hair. We don't. That's not our. We dress more conservative by nature, but women are getting out of control and thinking that they still want to be respected. They still want a man to open the doors for them. They still want a man to be a gentleman, but they got a G-string up their butt, and we can see it. Women, you are delusional. Stop for a minute and just consider and say, maybe these guys are right. Maybe let me swallow my pride for a minute and just reconsider and say, you know what? Maybe I should change my whole wardrobe, man. Maybe these spandex is not healthy for me, men, and society in general. Because back in the days, a spandex is what you used to wear at home, clean around the house. It was not what you used to wear in the streets. But I'm an old fart. What the heck I know? What the heck? But you know what? Keep doing what you're going to do. But when God come and judges this world, you're going to be like, you know what? Those crazy guys, we're not so crazy. Because this is not the way. Listen, I don't know who's listening, how many people believe in God. But this is, if you believe in a God, there's no way in God's green earth that this is the way God intended us to live. This is wrong. everything that you believe is right in America, question it, challenge it, biblically, not in your own theory, because the philosophy or the Greek philosophy, in the way we approach things is what makes sense to you. But even philosophy is biased. That's when the Bible says, take no thought. We got to stop with thinking that we are so smart that we could figure this thing out. God gave us a blueprint. Even if you believe that God is not real and the people that got visited by these angels and all these legends of these visitation were visitation of aliens. You know what? If they're visiting us and we're not visiting them, that means they're smarter than us. So even if you believe these commandments came from aliens, some outside creatures, you don't believe in God, you got to start respecting the Bible, because the Bible has been proven to be a book that has been show facts and historically or have shown things that people thought was silly, but it's been proven to be right. They say don't eat pork. Lo and behold, science proves that pig is actually harmful to eat when you get older, because of the parasites and all the things that, many doctors now are saying maybe pork is not right for you. The God of the Bible has been saying that for thousands of years. It's been, the Bible says don't mix linen and wood, or wood stuff that comes from animal versus things from flax. Lo and behold, science now is proving that actually is not good for your skin. So maybe there was just a scientific perspective to this Bible. So if Bible allow polygamy, allow a woman to that she has to, and it's expected for her to say, I'm going to share a man. And that was already in her mind so much that culturally a woman came in with another midwife. And it was always understood that midwife will be a midwife that will bring children once I can no longer have children. It was already culturally accepted. A woman wasn't thinking, well, listen, I know that polygamy exists over here in Israel, but that's not me. A woman wasn't even thinking that way. It was already accepted. Women were given husbands, other wives, as a gift. I got the receipts on that too.
Absolutely.
So we have to stop with this nonsense. Sister, you could play in this la la land as much as you want, but I'm tapping out. I'm out of this discussion. Monogamy doesn't work and never worked and it never will. And all you're doing is hurting the children, hurting society, and just frustrating yourself. Look how angry you're getting in that video, mama. Look how triggered that thing is.
Mm-hmm.
With something that if you just go 1,000 years ago in Africa, or even now, women are like, yes, my husband has 3 wives. I'm one of his wives. And you're right now about to explode because a man wants another woman, and he could be a great father, great inventor, great person. Oh, but he's just average because he cheated on me. You're delusional, mama. You're delusional.
Yeah, absolutely. And Elder, you bring the truth, nothing but the truth. If you coming from Nubreed Global Truth, make sure you go over there and subscribe to IAMFITPodcast. Y'all see it in the title of the video. Go over there and subscribe, especially all you brothers and sisters who caught the whole entire stream and y'all been here. Listen, y'all need to subscribe to this brother. He's bringing a whole lot of teaching, a lot of truth, a lot of biblical truth straight from the root. Excuse me. And yeah, go subscribe, y'all.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I'm going to give another 2 minutes for any ladies who want to join. I see some brothers in the chat, but and I'm not trying to, discriminate on you brothers, but I want to hone in on the sisters today, just because I feel like, a lot of ladies need a lot of questions answered when it comes to this topic. I know some of you brothers may be in disagreement or in agreement, but it really doesn't matter at this point. I want to see what the sister have to say, because as men, I feel like you can reevaluate the information that's delivered. That's more so in our nature. Instead of responding, I would rather men play back, listen to what was said. Maybe your question will be answered, or you do your own due diligence and your own research. I more so push that for brothers. If it's any women who want any questions answered, I would rather y'all ask y'all's questions either in the chat or join. I'll give a couple more minutes, because what I don't want, it was when this video end, y'all get all in the comment section. Y'all got all of these comments.
Yeah,
Seriously,
yeah.
all these questions. It's like, yo, all you had to do was tap in, either hitting while I'm paying attention to the comment section, or or just hit the link if you need to ask the question. Right? We'll give it a couple more minutes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let me ask you a question. You as a young man, because it's like, you know, I always been an open polygamist with my wife, and we had a discussion years ago, and I decided that I don't want that life. In the future, maybe, but right now, I don't see. This is how bad it's gotten in America. Even somebody who is a polygamist like myself,
Yep.
it's gotten so bad. I don't even want it.
I know what you was about to ask me, Elder, and I'm gonna tell you. I want to answer you already, Elder.
Yeah. So what, from your perspective, and the reason it's a little easier for me because I'm older. Sometimes when you get a little more mature, and let me not use that word mature, because that has an indication that young man that wanted. I still want another wife. Let me be clear. Right. So my maturity has nothing to do with it. My experience, maybe, because I'm experienced, like, never right now, maybe later on, right? I'm more experienced, right? Because sometimes maturity gets typecast, Nubreed is not mature, that's why he wants another. Yeah. Nah, I'm probably going to be 90, be like, listen, I won't mind another, right? Let's keep it real. That's just the way it is. It's just,
we men.
It's just what level of you at in your life, where you at, and your contempt and things of that nature. Certain things you could handle a little better because your body changes and so forth, so on. But you as a young man, right? How you deal with this? How I know you talk about seed rotation. I know you're talking about we have to go into that. So how you deal with it? Because when I was your age, I was all over the place.
Right. No, I understand the question. I surely do. And for those who don't know, I taught on semen retention for multiple years. And for the record, I don't practice semen retention no more. I practice concubines.
Okay.
And the reason why I practice concubines is because the scriptures tell us not to take on a wife if she has been pretty much defiled in any way.
Yeah.
When we go to the scriptures, it actually says you're supposed to take a wife that's a virgin.
Yeah.
And I learned in this current society, in this current climate, with all the brainwashing that's going on from the city girls and the modern women, they being pushed to the forefront. A lot of these women have been betrothed already. A lot of them actually have been defiled by prostitution as well, but we don't really talk about that much.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are in that lifestyle. So what I decided to do as a man is just have concubines.
Yeah.
I've learned myself as a man. I live alone, so I've learned that I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
Like probably more than the average person. That's for me. I don't necessarily need a woman there 24/7. I actually know how to cook myself. It's certain things, like as a man, I just know how to hold my own as a man, and I'm happy with it. I'm at a place of peace, but I'm still a man though, and I enjoy the company of a woman. So what I do personally in this current climate, and what I tell brothers and what I tend to teach on my channel is, don't take them as a wife if they're not a virgin. But at the same time, it's to everybody's discretion. If a woman works her way in your life and she's holding it down, she's been there for you. I'm talking about, listen, if she may even have a child's father and that didn't work out, whatever the case may be, or she may not be a virgin.
Yeah.
She may have lived a certain lifestyle, but she has show and prove, meaning she worked her way in. She's been loyal. She's been submissive. She's been holding it down. And you decide as a man, okay, I'm going to take her as a wife. That's your discretion.
Yeah.
And I don't speak against that. I'm not trying to bring us apart. I want us to be together. I want our nation to come together. Yeah. But from what I've learned in my particular walk, a lot of women in America are not wives. And I don't know how cruel or callous that may sound, but it's just the truth.
Yeah, and I think in big cities, I think these big cities have really destroyed women. You know, exposing them to so much stuff. You know, it was always the thing that the women you marry comes from a small town. You know, you come from a humble beginnings. These cities are too fast, too tempting, too, you know,
Yeah.
these nightclubs, these. It's not healthy for women because it's like,
Right.
you know, they get addicted to the attention. They come from the nightclubs, right? And they start seeing the woman who is dressing with the tightest dress get the most attention. And is these young, dumb, full of scum guys, 20 something, that they don't have any discipline. It's like a revolving door. It's like every generation, new batch of young men, right? A new batch of young women go to these what the Bible says, these drink houses. These
Yep.
when you go into the book of Adam and Eve, it goes into that. Alcohol involved. It's just not a good thing. Stay away from those things. If you're a God-fearing person, stay away from those things because it's not healthy. You're, I mean, there's nothing wrong going out, you know, to a restaurant, a bar once in a while and things of that nature. But these nightclubs are not healthy, man, because the music, right? You got to now look good. You got to go, you know, look your best. You got to go out there, and then every girl is competing for every guy's attention.
Yep.
And then it's like now we live in a world of nightclub. Like everybody is now acting like we're in the nightclub. Like social media has become the new nightclub. Everybody's looking good. Everybody's trying to be the next big dog, the next pretty chick who's what, you understand what I'm saying? And now we're competing for that attention. It's not healthy, man.
Right.
It's not healthy.
And I'm gonna say this as well, Elder. I believe that a lot more women are competing for that attention than a lot of brothers.
Yeah.
I think that brothers, when they on the scene, so to speak, they in the field, as the manosphere call it, being in the field, right? I think they're more so seeking something.
Yeah.
And it's not validation and attention a lot of the times. It's more so they're seeking a woman. You know what I'm saying? They want her, and I think a lot of ladies, they're in the spirit of competition. They're going out, they want to be seen, they want validation. They do a lot for these views just to be seen out on the scene. And I think just practicing, I don't know what to call it, concubinism. I like concubines, but there's something that I left out. There's a very silver lining. Like those women, even if you meet them in various places, they need to know, listen, after you deal with them, listen, you're my woman. I think a lot of women crave to be wanted by a man, needed by a man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of sisters want that leadership and that guidance to know, listen, after you deal with me, I'm not like everybody else. I'm not trying to pump and dump. I'm not trying to do this and that and the third. You can it's safe for you. It's safe for you, mama, to leave the scene. You ain't got to compete with your friends. You ain't got to go out. You ain't got to be seen. You ain't got to be chasing every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You ain't got to be doing things for attention. No, even though this might not be a traditional relationship, like because that's not what the current climate is.
Yeah.
But you are wanted and needed by a man. I'm over you. You're mine. You don't need to do this. You don't need to run the streets. I think that understanding needs to be out there. And women need to feel that protection, that comfort. And it's not just a man just pumping and dumping, because a lot of people would say, okay, in this modern time, when you teaching polygyny, what about discipline? What about discipline? Discipline is at the top of the charts.
More than ever in history. More than ever in history, a man, you sticking your penis in the wrong vagina can destroy your life.
Exactly.
So
discipline is top notch. And not to mention, like, just get into that spirit of being lascivious and just dibbling and dabbling. As a man, you got to have things that you do on a daily basis. It has to be a routine.
Yeah.
It has to be, you got business that you taking care of. You got things you tending to. Yeah. As a man, you shouldn't have time, because what they say, idle time is the devil's playground, right? You shouldn't have time to just be out here like twiddling your thumbs, pulling wings off of flies all day.
Yeah.
And that's how you get in trouble, brothers. Like that's how you get to doing the wrong things. And as a man, you gotta have things in place. You know
and brothers, when you meet a sister, and you're in a date or whatever, don't be ashamed of saying, I'm a polygamist. I'm a plural marriage, individual.
Yeah.
And Absolutely. You never know. And if you present it in a certain way, she may not agree with it, right? You may lose her. That's fine. You got to take that risk. You got to be willing to take that risk. But you never know. She may come back 3, 4, 5 months later or a year later and be like, you know what? The way you presented it to me and the way, the guys I've been dealing with since I met you are not come even close to what you're doing. Let me rethink this. Mm-hmm. I got more questions. You'd be surprised, brothers. If it becomes a trend that this guy said, listen, I'm a polygamist or I'm a polygamy. I don't, the actual proper term is for one man, multiple women, polygamy. Absolutely. And women start hearing it and it becomes a trend and they start seeing it in social media and we start seeing even examples of it. Even if you're not in that situation, you just say, yeah, that's what I am. Because that's what you are, regardless whether you tell them or not. You do it in secret or you do it in open. Be open about it. Be open. Yep. Right? And as we are Christians, so we're going from a perspective that, if you land with women, they're your wife, or you mentioned from a concubine perspective, and that's understandable. Mm-hmm. But even in let's room the Bible for a minute. Let's room the book for a minute. Just from a practicality scenario. You're 25, you meet a girl and say, listen, I got another girl I'm talking to. You want to be with me? We could work it out. Give her the choice. You may be surprised what she says. Exactly. But the problem is men are so desperate to get that vagina, they will lie. They would say, no, that's not me. I stop with the cap. Stop with the lying, guys. Mm-hmm. You got to say, listen, mama, I'm 25 years old. I have to stop not thinking about sex. It's just my home. Don't be ashamed about your body and what you go through. And educate women. We should, sex education should be understood that when you are young, it's hard for you to stay with one woman. And I'm not condoning it, but I'm just want people to just listen. We in a community, we in a country now that they are talking about changing the name from pedophile to minor attraction or something, or changing the name to remove the stigma, right? And trying to say that men there or women there are with this disease or this illness or this sexual preference we should not be ashamed of it, and we should just have a conversation about it, right? Mm-hmm. And allowing men to talk about it so then they could get help. Okay, let's have that conversation. If you are now allowed to say, oh yeah, that's a sexual preference, having sex with a child, that's something that is normal and you are born with that. But men are showing all the data that monogamy is not part of their DNA makeup. And we are ashamed to talk about it. We have to start educating these women. We have to start educating these young men. And I'm not saying that you should be running around banging every chick you see, but acknowledge it, and it's not a sin. There's nothing wrong with you. In the same way they're telling these pedophiles, there's nothing wrong with them. You just like little kids. Right. Why should we be ashamed of saying, listen, God made me this way? I do not believe that a man being with one wife for the rest of his life is healthy for me. It's for my best interest, and it's not my natural state. And you shouldn't be ashamed of saying that. We did have the conversation, and at least the women, for them to start saying, okay, it may not be for me, but this monogamy thing is not what I've been tricked and I've been bamboozled to say this is how a man's supposed to be. Everything else is mental illness. No, monogamy is mental illness. Mm-hmm. Monogamy is dysfunctional. Exactly. And look at all the kids that are being born out of wedlock. Look at all these divorces. Look at the strip club, the prostitution industry is catering to that dysfunctional reality. Monogamy doesn't work and never did. It doesn't. And we have to have a real conversation about this.
That's 100% facts. And you know, when you even look at marriage statistics, 70% of marriages ended in divorce initiated by the woman due to what? Infidelity.
Infidelity.
Because that man is out there and he hasn't facilitated his natural purpose yet. And
Yeah.
he's going underground. He's going dark web pretty much.
Yeah.
And that woman find out that man's being deceptive. He's breaking that woman's heart, opposed to a man just being upfront and being honest and total transparency. Listen, as adults, right? We all adults in here. You know what they say about, hold up, the chat froze up. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. It's a little finicky. But listen, as adults, you got to know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Yeah.
We're seeing divorce after divorce. Derek Jackson, he just got divorced from his wife. Was arguably one of the biggest dating gurus and coaches that appeal to you ladies. If you haven't learned from that situation to listen to brothers that's just going to be honest with you and transparent, then you won't learn. Literally, you won't learn.
Yeah.
Because in Derek's defense, I'm gonna defend him a little bit because he went to marriage counseling. He went to all of the pastors, the preachers. Listen, he pretty much went through MK Ultra, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Anything you could think that happened, he didn't want to do this. He didn't want to. He loved that woman, and this is why I said I hope they stay together because he just doesn't understand himself as a man. He's just an articulate brother. He know how to make a buck because it seems to be a lot of money making and tickling women's ears and not telling them the truth.
I forget about
For whatever reason, it's too much money to be made. It's too much on the table.
Yeah.
And people be afraid to walk away from it. Just telling women the truth. You got two men in front of y'all. That's the total opposite.
Yeah.
We'll die on our sword before we lie on the Lord. And you're dealing with men that's going to tell you the truth, regardless if we lose support.
Yeah.
Regardless it doesn't matter because we know the Most High is going to keep us afloat regardless because we were obedient to the command.
Yes.
So, ladies, you got to just accept the truth. It is what it is. Stop falling into these traps. Stop falling into these deceivers and these liars, and deal with brothers who actually gonna keep it authentic with you, 100%. That way, at least at the very least, you have a choice.
Monogamy is keeping OnlyFans alive.
Oh, hold up, Elder.
Monogamy is keeping it's feeding OnlyFans, it's feeding prostitution, it's feeding these strip clubs. Because then when men are ashamed to say, you know what, I would want another woman in my life. And that gets shunned upon. Oh, no, don't do that. They're going to go into the black market. Mm-hmm. See, plural marriage is the official way in how do you deal with that issue. Stripping, OnlyFans, and all these other industries are the black market to feed that desire or that want. I want another woman in my life. And immediately you start being programmed at thinking that way because all the men that are doing it are creeping. It becomes evil and wrong. Mm-hmm. And let me also say this, fathers, you got to start having these conversations with your daughters. Stop telling them what they want to hear. Mm-hmm. Stop telling them what they want to hear because I remember when I had the conversation with my daughter, she was shocked. The words that was coming out of my mouth. Like, you're my dad. Do you want me to be somebody, to cheat on me? Like, no, I'm telling you, a man's going to probably cheat on you because it's unnatural. Mm-hmm. So prepare for it. And if he's a good guy, start having a conversation, whatever you're comfortable with. I will prefer for you to be already in a scenario that you're already preparing for it and having conversation with your husband of eventually getting him having another wife. Exactly. If you cannot see that or handle that, the second best choice will be like, have a conversation with your husband. If he has another wife or another concubine to side, as long as there's some guy rules, you don't check his phone, you don't get into his business. As long as he's taking care of his business, you mind your business. That's the conversation that I had with my daughter, and she began to cry. After I wiped her tears, said, baby, I love you. I won't be doing my job if I won't be telling you the truth as a father.
Exactly.
So
And
fathers, you got to stop manning up and having those tough conversations with your daughter.
exactly, because you got to tell her the true nature. Keep it real with your daughters. That is some real talk. And I see some people in the chat um, talking about concubines as if it's something negative, or there's this denomer, this
Yeah.
stigma that's placed on a woman that is labeled a concubine. Let me express this to you. Any woman I consider a concubine, I got love for, literally.
Yeah.
Um, and see what y'all don't understand is a concubine is a quote unquote part-time wife. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just not in a traditional sense. And I'm putting that out there because I see some people saying, well, you know, Nubreed, he should have wives, and why concubine? Like as if concubines is something negative.
Right.
It's not. That's not the case. Listen, there may be women that help her brother keep the house clean every now and then, come through, clean up, things that I may be lacking on, but she may be a concubine. It may be a woman that is certain. It's certain motivation that she gives me as a woman. It may be a woman when I'm in her company.
Yeah.
I feel a certain way. See, y'all got to understand, ladies, get out of the bubble. A man can feel different ways for different women, but that does not denote her position in that man's life.
Yeah.
So when you hear the word concubine, you automatically think she's a less than a person. I don't know. That word is just demonized.
Yeah.
Listen, in modern society, a lot of women want to work. They want to get out here. They don't want to be traditional. They want to go out here and live their life. Half the time, and ladies, stop fronting. Y'all don't want to be around the man that you in love with all the time.
Yeah.
Let's be 100%. Like let's stop the games. Y'all want to deal with that man. You want to go home to your respective area, live your life, enjoy your self time.
Yeah.
Because y'all ladies be needing it too. So let's stop with the little games here.
Yeah.
So some of y'all are concubines in nature, and you know that you're concubines in nature, but you're fighting against what's real. So let me just put that out there. Anybody in the chat, stop demonizing what a concubine is. That's just the word used biblically for a part-time wife.
Right. And usually when you look at the history of a concubine, usually it was two things from an Israelite perspective. Other nations used to have that concubines as well, and all of them was pretty much the same. If a wife is someone you worked for or you desire to get, you saw a woman, you went to the father, or sometimes the brother, the father was passed, the patriarch of the house. I want her. What do I have to do to get her? And they'll work out what it is. You need to earn this much. You need to have this. You need to believe in this religion. They work out those details, and you work towards that. Once you applied, and you fit those criteria under the father, then you win her. That's your wife. A concubine is someone that you didn't have to work for, or you got through a circumstances that someone gave you. Sometimes you're in a situation that you may be you made a pact with your brother that if he passes away, you take care of his family, and he dies and he has 4 sons and 4 daughters, and you take those sons and daughters under you. And you may say, listen to your son, marry my best friend, my late best friend who passed, his daughter. But your son may not want her. But under the honor of the father, the honor that he has for his father, he said, okay, Dad, I'll take her as my wife. Is that when I wanted? I didn't have to work for her. It's like a lesser wife. And sometimes that comes in through war, right? If we fought against another nation and there's women, virgins, okay, we say, okay, we usually divvy them up to different areas, and we used to treat prisoners of war way with more rights than they used to do it, to us. When you look at the Torah, because we're not supposed to or mistreat a stranger. And they have to start worshiping our gods and so forth, things of that nature, but they also have rights. So concubines was a situation that it was not one you worked for. It was someone that you won out of a circumstance. And so for someone, it may be a situation you may have, and these things, like I said, is ancient in America. It's becoming more less ancient than before. You may have a situation with a brother, a neighbor, and he said, listen, man, I got a daughter. She's a good cook. She's she's a good woman. She could bear you good kids. Take her off my hands. All right, I didn't work for that. That would be kind of like a concubine. You understand? Exactly. So a concubine, in today's modern perspective, is a woman that say, listen, I see you, you're moving, you're shaking, I want to be in your world. How can I be in your world? Okay, I got time to see you twice a week. We could spend some time together, and we could build from there. That would be a concubine. Now, a concubine could become a wife eventually. Mm-hmm. And she earns a keep. Because what she's doing is when men have to start understanding that the most valuable thing you could give a woman is your time.
Exactly.
You should not just give your time with no what's the word I'm looking for? Understanding. If I'm giving you my time, this is what I'm demanding. Respect, sex, familiarity, agreement, not arguments, not debates. And that's why men have to start getting their game up in their financial scenario. So then, because my greatest weapon for every woman is they knew I could walk away. They always knew I always had a plan B, just in case they get out of hand. I ain't going to stay here all my life arguing with you. I ain't going to put my hands on you. I'm not going to be punching walls. I got to fix again. Nah, I'm not doing that. If I keep telling you over and over again, this ain't working. You're my wife. You're my adversary. I'm out of here. And that's what brothers have to start doing. They have to start learning how to walk away and start learning how to bet better women to have children with. Because when you don't have children, you could just walk away. When you don't have a marriage contract, you could just walk away if they don't act right. But when you have kids, mortgage and all that, and you saw all the signs, you saw all the issues that she was arguing, not agreeable. She started giving you sex less and less, and now you 3 years in, and she's like, let's get married, and you get married, and you continue to marry that. You got yourself to blame, Papa. You got yourself to blame.
That's it. Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, Elder, you breaking it down, bringing that truth for real, for real. Like I said, y'all go over there and subscribe. IAMFITPodcast, man. Listen, Elder Gabar breaking it down for y'all. And this is just 100% facts, man. And I feel like no stone has really left unturned in this particular live show. I even gave an opportunity for people to come in if they would like to. I seen a lot of questions asked and answered within the chat.
That's a blessing.
So I'm hoping everybody. I see some brothers in the queue, but we more so pertaining to the sisters, and I gave my reasons why.
Yeah. But we could bring the brothers in. When
you want to bring up,
it's up to you. Yeah, why not? See
brothers, what I will ask is if you turn your cameras off, because I would normally do this audio style, right? I don't want nobody, doing this podcast. I mean, we got the guest here. If y'all turn y'all's cameras on, I'll let some of the brothers in so y'all can chime in. Yeah, those who disagree really should call in. Seriously.
So. Yeah. We may be wrong. We may, we're in the age of reason. Let's talk about it.
Mystic Shadow, in your camera. Yeah, just if you don't mind, brother, because normally I would do this with a call in. Mystic Shadow, what do you got to chime in with? Yo, you hear me? All right. I don't know what happened with that, brother. Okay, so there's other people in here that look like they disconnected their entire device. Are you good, brother? Yes, I hear you now. You loud and clear. What's
loud
going
and clear.
on?
I want to say I like everything about your show and you, but there is one thing I disagree is about this, because I had that sin in me. It's a sin to have multiple wives and to want to have more than one woman. I had a woman before, and I always had problem with my mind. I always look at the other girls, wanted to be with others. But in the end, when I left her, when we left each other, I had nothing for many months. And after maybe 1 year, I didn't have any woman and was not with any woman. And after 1 year, now I don't feel any lust for anybody. So I have take away that spirit from me.
Right. Okay. Brother, could I ask what is your age?
31.
You're 31 years old. And
Yeah.
if you don't mind, what do you make in a ballpark figure yearly? Annually?
What do you mean?
How much do you make a year, if you don't mind?
Money.
Yeah, how much you make a year in an average? What's your income like? Do you make
I don't
over?
know,
Do
in
you
dollars.
make? Do you make over 100,000 or under 100,000?
Over.
So you make over 100,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're financially able to take care of yourself and someone else, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So you're working, you're making your money, you're in things like that. You're 31 years old, right?
Yeah.
And let me say this: that lust that you're thinking about, the only reason why you feel it's lust is because you're working, you are fighting against your natural way God made you. Don't be ashamed of it. Just confront it, and just say, okay.
It's easier to
But let me
live
finish,
like that.
if you don't mind. If you live in a world, right? If you live in a world that you could have multiple wives, that was normal, you will not be struggling. Listen to me.
Yeah.
You will not be struggling with the struggle that you're struggling today. The only reason why you feel is a shame is because society has brainwashed you to think it's wrong for you to desire another wife. And because society is telling you only have one, it's wrong to think to have another one. That desire becomes addictive. It becomes a thing that now you think you can't stop thinking about it because now you're being deprived of it. It's a psychological, listen, let me finish. It's a psychological damage that we are doing to young men, thinking that just because you want another wife or you want another woman is wrong. It's not wrong, is how God made you. What's wrong is society. You live in the wrong society because if we had a time machine right now, brother, and I could take you 2,000 years ago in a different culture that allowed multiple women, you probably will have 3 or 4 wives, a rotation. You'll be sexually satisfied. You'll be building with these 4 or 5 women, and then sex will not be that important to you because you have access of it almost every day.
Well, let me tell you one thing. When you are using your energy, your spirit, when you have multiple wives, why don't you use that on your work?
See, that's the whole thing. That's the game. You're demonizing it. Listen. You having multiple women in your life. Let's say you have 3 wives, right? And you may have 1 work, 2 stay home and take care of the kids and all that, right? And then you got another one probably has a side job working from home, something like that. You guys all building, and you rotate your wife, and you see them every 3 days. You rotate them, right? And you have a system that you deal with them, right? And you go out, once a week with each one of them by themselves to build some rapport, right? And then when you see them and you're spending time with them, you missing them because you're not seeing them every day. So now you got things to talk about, right?
But you
let me finish. And you're doing the same thing instead of with 1 woman, you're doing it with 3 women, right?
Right. Hey,
That's
LG,
a lot of energy.
don't mind if I chime in on this because
I
think there's a communication issue here. The brother is more so speaking on semen retention, if I'm not mistaken. Mystic Shadow, you practice semen.
No.
Because you
No, I'm telling you lose focus on your life and your life goal when you.
But brother, let me say this. What I'm trying to say is that when you are dealing with a monogamous scenario, that becomes a distraction. You constantly being horny all the time becomes a distraction. You understand what I'm saying? That if you have 3 wives at home, it's no longer a distraction because you're sexually satisfied. Trust me, brother, you don't know what you're talking about, and you are 100,000% wrong. The only reason why it becomes so important to you because you don't have a lot of it. You don't have sufficient of it.
I don't
So,
need.
so that's the reason why you constantly have to motivate your mind. And I commend you for you to resist yourself because you're in behind enemy lines. You're not in the right state of condition to exercise your sexual appetite. So you have to restrict, but don't think it's evil. It's just you living in the wrong scenario, the wrong time frame in history. So now you have to say, okay, having multiple wives is wrong. So let me suppress those feelings and don't think that those feelings are evil. It's just you suppressing something that God made you that way. That's all. And once you could just forgive yourself, you could
always
just
thinking it
focus.
was the
Listen, then you
devil.
could just focus. Okay, I'm always gonna be a little horny. I'm gonna get eventually tired of the girl I'm gonna be with, and I have to try to find me the best woman, or start traveling and finding women from other countries that will allow you to have another wife. Either or, do what you need to do, but don't start being ashamed of it and thinking that it's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're a heterosexual man. That's all.
Exactly.
I
Brother
was
Nubreed.
always thinking it was the devil in my mind who was talking like that.
They don't get that devil.
Exactly.
They don't devil.
Right.
Because it says you should not.
Now listen. Now
And
if you
Mr.
want
Shadow.
if you want to have sex with another man's wife, that's the devil.
That's the devil. Yeah. Facts. Now, Mystic Shadow, you said something in
thank
lines
you.
of why not use that energy to pursue your goals? That's why I thought you were talking about semen retention for the record. That's why I thought he was more so on that lifestyle. But let me point this out. Like I'm one who taught on that, like transmuting your energy to doing your goals. And one thing I learned over the years is when you got the right women in your corner in your life, that actually propels you to more goals and doing what you need to do. You rise to the occasion as a man because you have these women in your life, and they actually it's more so motivation, not giving you energy.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with the wrong person, they will strip you of your energy. If you're dealing with the wrong type of women, then you ain't gonna have no energy because they're gonna be stressing you out. You're gonna be going through all kind of turmoil. So it's nothing wrong with choosing the right type of women in your life, going out there doing what you need to do as a man. All right. You just need to know that. As far as the energy part, because I heard you say something regarding that, right? I just wanted to put that in there.
All right. Yeah, thank you for your opinion. I understand what you mean.
It's okay. It sucks being you right now, brother, because you're in America. You're a heterosexual man, and
No, I'm in
women.
Sweden.
Are you in Sweden? Okay, so you're in Sweden,
Yeah.
right? And you're in a situation. You're a heterosexual man, and you live in a monogamous world. And Europe, the Romans started that monogamous scenario, and you are a product of that society. We are a product of that society here in America, and that's the only reason why. If we will be living under another culture, for instance, right? Let's just say the Islam religion would take over the world and took over America, and it was not the Europeans that kind of conquered the known Western world. It would have been Islam. In Islam, multiple wives is allowed. So it would not have been a big thing. We would have been thinking different. We would not be thinking the same way. So because we are a product of our environment. Just don't be ashamed of it. Just understand, okay, I'm just have a strong sexual appetite. And never know. Sit down with a woman and say, listen, I would like to practice polygamy. I would like to have two women in my life. And you never know what will happen. And you start saying, you know what? It wasn't so crazy. You start thinking about sex so much because now you have two women that are keeping you sexually satisfied. You can go to work. Your brain is right. If that doesn't work, then try to do semen retention, or just say, you know what, try to get the best quality woman. But don't shame yourself. Don't stop thinking there's something wrong with you. You're just a man. That's all.
Let me tell you this just fast. I was like that before. I wanted multiple women. I lust after others in not sinful way.
Yeah.
But then the opposite happened. I started to thinking by myself, life isn't just sex or women's. I have goals to chase, and I have my time to focus on my life, not on having multiple women or women.
Okay.
And now, when I have a woman, I cannot have the same good sex like before because I removed, like I told you, that spirit in me, and I want it back, but I cannot get it back.
Right. Well, brother, you have to also look at maybe you have to look at what relationship you have with sex, because sometimes brothers have a bad relationship with sex because you would raise in a scenario that you got exposed to sex very early in a dysfunctional kind of way. I remember I was watching pornography material when I was 13. I should not have been watching that. That kind of messed me up a little bit. And I think a lot of young men sometimes get exposed to sex kind of early in an unnatural way, and you have an a relationship, unnormal relationship with sex. So you have to think about that too, if that could be an issue. But you desiring sex with multiple women and having the desire to say having 2 or 3 in your life is not wrong. You just have to acknowledge, oh, that's like me taking a piss. It's just like using the bathroom. It's part of your biological makeup. And once you start acknowledging that, then you stop beating yourself up some more and say, okay, what circumstance I'm in? Because that's why I match how much money do you make? I don't know if you hit the gym. I don't know if you take care of yourself. I don't know if you try to create
all that.
Okay, good. So try to become the better version of yourself, and you're gonna attract the better women that you be in a situation. Increase your confidence, and confidence is important.
I already have a woman.
Okay, good. Oh, good. So what I'm saying, brother, this is the best thing a man could tell a woman. Listen, this is the best thing a man could tell a woman. I want another woman, but I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I care about you. And finding a good woman is hard, and I'd rather stay with one good woman than cheating on you and having the effect of losing you, right? That's a more honest approach. That's a more honest approach than saying, I don't want another woman. You're the only one I want for me in my life. You're the only one I think about. That's a lie.
It's not a lie. I don't want other women.
Brother, listen, you're not helping yourself. You're not helping yourself by lying to yourself. I know you in your heart, you really believe. You really, really believe. Dude, it's not true. The bottom line, listen, I've been faithful to my wife. I've been with my wife for 30 years. I would say in the last 15 years, I've been faithful to her. The first 15, I lived in a polygamous situation. She knew I had other women. Right? So what I'm saying, brother, I know both sides, and I'm 50, and I'm older than you. It never goes away. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm open about it. I don't beat myself over it. You understand what I'm saying? And I said to myself, you know what? It's because the circumstances that I am. But let's say tomorrow, next week, I do find a woman who I feel is worthy, that God gives to me. I may open that opportunity, but unfortunately, I'm in the United States of God-forsaken America. I'm not even taking the risk. So, brother, it's okay, brother. It's okay. You're not a bad man. Just because you chose to be faithful to your woman, that's a good thing. But just when it comes hard, it doesn't mean that you're evil or you're a bad person. It just means you are a heterosexual man. That's it.
All right.
Forgive yourself. You're okay, brother. It's just hard sometimes for
the devil talking to my mind. I always thinking it's the bad man in me who is speaking. When I get that
no, that's healthy. That's healthy. You're a heterosexual man.
It's not me. That is not me. You know, I don't want to cheat or be with another when I already have one. And when I think or see another woman that I feel lust for, I just tell myself this is a sin. Lust is a sin. I rebuke this thought.
And it's all that is good, but listen, brother, it's not about rebuking. It's saying, hey, she looks good. If I live in a different scenario, I may pursue her. But because I live in a Romanized, monogamous society, I'm suppressed. I'll suppress that, and I'm okay with that. You see that? Listen, life is about suppressing a lot of things. I suppress myself not want to get up in the morning and go to work. I got to suppress that. I want to stay home. I suppress, my desire of not being responsible and taking care of my house. And leave it up to me. I want to just travel, do whatever I want, get up whatever I want. I just cannot do that because I got to work. So life is about suppressing certain things that you do want to do as a man, but it's not that is evil. It's just the circumstance you in. That's all.
All right.
That's it.
Thank
If you see a girl with a nice spandex, acknowledge it. Nice butt. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and don't demonize those feelings that come to around that. And if avoid certain situation. And so if you're struggling with that, don't be going in clubs. Don't be going to, you know what I'm saying? But these days, it doesn't matter because even going to the gym, mamma mia, it's like, good Lord. It's almost hard. But what I'm saying, brother, don't demonize yourself, brother. You're not evil. It's just you have to suppress, as men always have to suppress certain feelings because we are biologically hardwired a certain way. And it's okay. Forgive yourself, bro. You're a good man. You're not an evil dude. You're just a man. You see a pair of boobs, nice boobs. Your body is hardwired to react to that. That's why when you look at all ancient conservative culture, they knew that women used to cover up because they knew that was a temptation of men. That's why you go in the Middle East, women are not out there showing cleavage and all that. They cover up because they know that's a temptation for men. That's okay, brother. And unfortunately, you don't live in that society, so you have a little more temptation. It's okay. Just resist and move on. It's not like you're not going to pray that away. Mm-hmm. You're not going to fast that away. Paul says every man has his own gift. He said, I wish all men were like me, but if they cannot resist, marry, for it's better for married than to burn. Because you were born with that desire.
Yeah, and another thing, just to short it out, sometimes people, if they don't have multiple wives or sex and like that, they use pills, dope, for getting that feeling. And instead of having multiple wives, they have multiple different chemical hunting for the brain. And
I blame monogamy for that.
Yeah, and I see sex like a drug, so it's
now. Yes, listen. Yeah,
overuse it.
Yeah, no, brother. Yes, I mean there are people, like I said. That's why young fathers, make sure you protect your son from being exposed to sex in an early age. You should have that conversation with him first before he is exposed to that. Make sure that who's his friends. Make sure his friends don't have pornography in their house and all that. Block his phone. Block his computer.
Right.
And then you should be having that conversation. When he starts getting his puberty and you start noticing he's changing his voice, that's the time because he's going to start noticing women. His first interaction.
Elder, and I want to add on to what you're saying as well, Elder, because I don't think a lot of brothers understand the level of toxicity pornography has had on brothers.
Yeah.
Let's say, for instance, you go to the beach and women got on their beach clothes, right?
Yeah.
They're wearing bathing suits because they're at a beach. That's natural.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to do semen retention for a certain amount of time, you'll realize that your level of perversion actually goes down. And you know how to be in certain settings and be able to communicate with women and be around them without it just being straight up perversion. Because your mind in the gutter. Because in every scenario in these porn videos, everything leads up to sex. Everything is sexually suggestive to the point where if a woman's at a gym, she's wearing her gym apparel, the gym clothes that actually is made for the gym.
Yeah.
You're looking at it sideways. So as men, at some point, we got to take responsibility and say, okay, let's not get too overbearing because let's not, look at every woman as a harlot, a whore, or it's bad that she got a shape. This woman is shapely. She's here and she's at the beach and she's at the gym. Listen, that all comes from the perversion that society pushed on us. We shouldn't be looking at things that way.
Yeah.
At one point, everybody was butt naked. Now wrap your mind around it. Everybody was naked at one point.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, listen, women, just to lower it down for you to help you out, brother. Women fart. They use the bathroom. They do number two, just like everybody, just like men, right?
Right.
They're just women. They're beautiful. You're gonna see things. They're gonna look good. It's not that big of a deal. Now, as a man, you don't want to be restricted to the point where you're not attracted to these women at all, because that's in a man's nature. That's what we're trying to say. It's a thin line because of the perversion they put out there in society. It's a thin line between you just being a man that's just seeing things for what it is, and a man that get caught up in perversion. That the perversion that's been designed for you to see it that way.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense to you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have stopped watch that long time ago, and you talk better with girls, and you speak better, and your sex life
Yep.
is different. You don't
Yep.
have sex like in porn videos. That is not real,
Exactly. So you already
Yeah.
know, man. So listen, I want to kind of limit the callers because we got a few people in the chat. If you don't
Yeah.
mind, sort of doing a
No,
couple
no.
more.
Thank
If
you.
we'll limit them to 5 minutes at this point. All right.
Thank you.
Well,
Take care.
thank you, brother.
Hopefully,
Good
Elder
luck and
answered your
happy
question.
birthday.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. We got a show. Is that how you pronounce your name? Okay. What would you like to add on?
I want to, be sure about something. Just like today, I come across something today. I was with my boss today, so he said that my boss he get married to two wives. Understand? So he said about, me, I'm a Christian. Like, what if you marry two wives? I said, well, I'm not gonna do that. Understand? So at the time he was letting me know about uh, the reason why he married two wives. He said that he's rich and he's afraid maybe one of his wife might, maybe he said he's afraid if he marry one wife that the wife might actually get to, poison him or get to kill him over his wealth. So if he actually have like two wives, that will make him, to reconsider because sharing his property might actually be a split, not everything.
Okay. So hold on, Steve.
So I was
I want to
like, okay,
clarify. Hold
yeah,
on, brother. Let me clarify that you understand everything
yeah,
the chat understands everything you
okay,
just said. Are you saying that
okay,
you know someone who has two wives? Am I right so far?
yes,
You know, okay. You know someone who has two wives, and
yes, my boss, yeah.
your boss has two wives. What country are you in?
I'm in Nigerian, but I'm in Guinea right now. I'm working there,
All right, so
Guinea Conakry.
you're in Nigeria, so it's a totally different climate out there when it comes to marriage in general.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
boss has two wives, and
You know,
is he? Did you? From what I just heard, did you say something about him
yes.
cheating his wife? Is that what you said? If I'm wrong, let me know.
Eloy, I didn't get you. Sorry.
Did you say something about your boss having two wives, but he's sharing his wife or wife or one of his wives? Is that what you said? Because I may have misunderstood
No, 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 no. I said uh, he have two wives,
you. Okay.
and he said the reason why he married a second wife was he didn't actually trust the first wife, like in terms of his properties and other things that he might maybe one day his wife might get to like kill him or poison him, something like that, to get over his wealth. So the reason why he married the second wife is, to let the wife know that anything he's going to do is going to be a split. But that is not actually the reason why I'm here. You see, lately I have been, praying because I actually want to get married. And I don't know, today just my life has always been, I don't know, God have his ways of reaching me each day. Uh, we had this discussion today, and so I just came, I just saw a notification about you, Nubreed, and I was like, okay, let me check because I'm watching your videos. Uh, I do learn a lot from it. So I now, went through it, and now I saw something like polygamy. I was like, oh yeah, let me check out because I had a discussion with my boss today about this. So before I never want I did not want to get married to two wives, but I am beginning to see a reason why I should. Understand? Not It's not the matter of, because my kind of person, I like to be submissive to one woman. But you see,
Well, brother, let me
woman, like
correct you there. I
the
say,
ones.
hold up, brother. Listen, I think the problem
Okay,
is the way of thinking, the way you're thinking. I would like to be submissive to one woman.
okay,
You should remove that word
okay.
submissive out of your mind. You be submissive to someone
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
is either your boss, your superior, right, your father, but
Okay,
your wife's supposed to be submissive to
okay.
you. And what's
All
happening
right.
is that the tables are changing. And that's why I want brothers to
Yeah,
start getting their confidence. You have to increase your confidence. You have to say, okay, me wanting multiple women, there's nothing wrong with me. Now, I live in the world right
okay.
now, and you really, to think about it, your boss, thank God that you in Nigeria,
Yeah.
or your boss was in Nigeria,
Yes.
that he said, you know what, the first wife I marry or the woman I'm with, I'm not trusting her, and that happens sometimes. So now
Yes.
we should be celebrating the country of Nigeria. A brother who is successful,
Yeah.
he's your boss, so that means he's successful, has now the option to say, you know what, let me get
Yes.
another wife just in case this first wife, who is behaving strangely and not doing what I need her to do, I'm not and trust is big for
Okay.
men. Then now he's in a situation that has another wife. Now, let me ask you a question. Do these both women know of each other, or he's having another woman that he does not letting the other woman know,
No,
or they
they
know
live
of each other?
together. They're living in the same one house.
Okay,
Just
okay, well,
everybody,
good.
both their
Well, good.
kids and everyone.
That's good. That's a good, listen,
Yeah.
you have to understand women nature. I love my women. But
Yeah.
women, because they are the weaker sex physically, they usually
Okay.
operate in stealth and in ways of manipulation.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
your
Exactly.
boss, and apparently he's a smart man, that's why he's your boss, is smart enough to understand that nature and decided, you know what, let me get another wife just in case. I may have to get rid of the first one because she's acting right. So
Yeah. Yeah.
shout out to him for taking smart and protecting his legacy.
He's protecting his assets.
He's
Yeah.
protecting his
That's
asset.
true.
He go,
Exactly.
he want to make sure his dynasty.
Yeah.
If it's an issue, he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Real
Amen.
talk.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
don't be ashamed of it, brother. But
You
increase
see-
your
you
increase
yeah.
your confidence and realize
Yeah.
when you deal with a woman, she has to be submitted to you, brother, not to her. And if you
Yeah, of
you
course.
should let her
Yeah.
know. You should let her know. If I want to be faithful to you, is a choice. It's a choice.
Yeah.
It's not. You're the only
Okay.
woman I will ever love. I will only be attracted to. No, I chose to be only faithful to you, but I desire, as most men desire, other women. But I just don't want the headache.
Yeah.
The same thing with me. That's what I told my wife. I just don't want the headache.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have one more thing to say. And I'm a type of person that I always like to be faithful to one woman, but just my past relationship have not been really good. See, and I just see it as most women I come across with, they have that manipulative spirit. And most times when I'm trying to give my best, they just take me for granted,
Right.
mess things up
Well, let me add to
for
that,
me.
brother. Let me add to that, if you don't mind. You said because
Okay.
when I speak to a lot of brothers, it's like
Yeah.
I like to be faithful, and I know where that comes from. That comes from if I'm faithful to a woman, and women are so faithfulness to them is so important to them, I'm gonna give them that.
Yeah.
And if I give them that,
Okay.
that means I'm a good
Yeah.
man, and they're gonna treat me right. They're gonna be right by me.
Yeah.
And you think you're gonna get a reward, and this is what happens, brother. You probably was raised by your mother, not with your father. I don't know your background, and correct me if I'm wrong, if anything I'm assessing. And you have this satisfying mother, aka your wife, that if I'm a real good son, she's gonna let me go out and play. If I'm a real good husband, I'm faithful, she's gonna respect me as a husband. No, she won't. Because biologically speaking, women are also hardwired a certain kind of way. Women are usually attracted to men. They usually are not faithful to them.
Yep.
They are usually are above their range. So if you be a good, faithful husband, brother, you're not going to get the wife you think you're going to get. And that could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, because I'm not always right. But statistically speaking, you're probably someone a woman is settling with. Not the woman she won, by the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong you want to be faithful, but don't think just because you're faithful, that means your wife is going to be like, I'm in heaven. Look at this man. He's faithful. Dude, nah.
Hey, brother, let me let you in on a little secret, right? Women tend to desire men who other women desire. That's just a fact. A lot of them won't admit that. They won't admit that to you, but it's the truth, brother. If no other woman desire you, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to really desire you. Now, it has to come a point where you're open about that, and you're just being yourself, brother. Now, a lot of ladies want that the same masculinity that was used to attract her. That's the same masculinity used to attract every woman that's in your circumference. Every woman that's interested in you. You don't have to hide that, shield that, because that's actually what's going to make her gravitate to you more. Because women they get bored, bro. And I'm telling you like it is. Especially with the women of my generation, they get bored.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot.
Right. Except they take it into a toxic level because they have to have something to talk about with their homegirls. Hey, guess what? He out here doing this. He ain't come home last night, and they like the toxicity. But as a nation, we got to change that. We got to take that toxic toxic gray area that these women are operating in, dealing with the guy who's cheating, running around. We got to take that out, and we gotta move it into something else where it's brothers who actually responsible and they actually cherish the women that with, opposed to just being toxic.
So, and not only that, listen, what really women want is your attention. Right? They want your attention. They want you to be around them. That's what they want. But they will the addiction that women have, what they're addicted to, is wanting to be with a man that man doesn't want to be with them in the same capacity in regards of energy. Like, I want to be with you, but I don't want to be with you all the time. That's what women want. So if you give too much of a woman, even if you're faithful, but if you up a butt all the time, you got to do things. You got to be up and going. You got to be someone who's looking to conquer the world. You look at, so you gotta listen, baby. I love you, but I can't be up your butt laying with you all day. I'm moving. You automatically, even if you are faithful, you're gonna be more attracted to her. You gotta have hobbies. You gotta have things that is outside of her. I tell my wife, baby, I love you, but when I'm doing my jiu-jitsu, unless it's the house is burning or something's in emergency, and she understands. She knows that's my space. And by that, I become more attracted to her because I'm not all up in her face. Hi, baby. You want me to get you something from the store? You want me to go? Just go. You want to hang out? You want to go to the movies? I'm almost up her butt. I'm gonna look less attracted to her. So when I'm have things, I'm working out. I'm doing my podcast. She could appreciate the time that I am spending with her because it doesn't come often. And that's the game that men need to master when you're dealing with a female energy.
Absolutely. Now, hopefully you guys.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna allow one more. And this is a brother here that holding it down in the chat. Thank you, so hopefully you satisfied. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna bring in my brother Sean, the Navigator. Let him chime in as well. Sean, what's going on, brother? You could turn your camera on, Sean. This is a good brother right here. He's in a circle here. Yes,
How's it going, brothers? Can everybody hear me?
Peace and
yes, sir.
blessings. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings to you, brother.
Um,
What's going on?
I just want to say I agree 100%. My cam keep coming in, and I agree 100% with what you brothers are saying. I'm noticing in the chat there's a lot of unlearned people. I just want to point this out. Anybody that's in the chat, if you have a question, right, and if it's been answered either through the podcast or if it's been answered in the chat, we don't need y'all going back and asking the same question in different ways, because what y'all doing is y'all really taking away from the seriousness of this issue. This is a serious issue. It has to deal with our people and has to deal with our nation and how we're going to build moving forward. So if y'all not going to be respectful in the chat, if y'all not going to be respectful to these good brothers that's in this podcast, because they don't have to give you this time that they're giving you. This is Nubreed's birthday. He could be celebrating right now if he wanted to. Elder Gabar has a wonderful platform. He could be spending the time either doing something else on his channel, but they taking their time to edify us. So please be respectful in this chat. If y'all have genuine questions, the brothers don't mind answering it, and we brothers who are knowledgeable in the chat don't mind answering y'all questions. But be respectful. Don't be trolling in the chat. Don't be saying things that don't relate to what we're talking about. Otherwise, whether it be me, another moderator, or New Breed himself, we will remove y'all from the chat. I just wanted to throw that out there. Uh,
Right.
all praises.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
brother.
brother.
You definitely holding it down in the chat. You got a channel as well, Sean the Navigator. He does his thing and speaks the truth. What do you want to add in regards to this topic here? What is your add-ins? Because I know you were listening. Um, oh,
We probably lost him. He'll
yeah, I
probably
think
come
we
back.
lost the brother. All right, so yeah, the brother will probably come back, but we kind of running low on time. But no, that's real talk. What the brother was saying, because we did open up the chat and gave people ample opportunity to come in and ask your questions. So the lines are open. He said he got taken out the chat. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, bro. If you want to link back in and just kind of chime in, because I know you're familiar with this topic as well. Um, Elise, thank you for the happy birthday. I appreciate you. Says
Yeah, happy
Hebrews
birthday,
don't
brother.
celebrate. Says Hebrews don't celebrate birthdays. That's not true at all. That's actually wrong. We don't do the candles and we
Right.
don't do the paganism side of it. But far as celebrating the time you were on this earth in your life, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
All right.
the Hebrews used to acknowledge, birthdays or the time of period where you're born, because that was a time for us to tell time, and there were certain age times that there were celebration, like if you're a child and you get weaned from your mother's breast, that's around 2 or 3. They throw a feast. Then at the age of 10, from the age of 20, that's when you begin to learn Torah. And you got when you were 12, you become you have what you call your bar mitzvah. You start learning a man. When you're 20, you could go. They also throw feasts, because now you could join the military, and now you could now serve and things of that nature. So you're a priest, or you're a man of the a leader in your community, like the judges. Usually a judge, you start around the age of 20. They usually a feast to celebrate that. So it wasn't, we used to acknowledge birthdays, but it wasn't like the pagans that, celebrating you is more celebrating where are you in your life, your platform. So it's showing that you are becoming a man, and you record those ages, and depending where you're at, there's certain celebration, certain acknowledgement at certain times. And so we did, acknowledge birthdays and acknowledge time.
Right.
Well, another year you're in this planet. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And the paganism came in where people would throw candles on the cake,
Yeah.
light these candles, talking about make a wish. That's witchcraft. We don't need to do all of that.
Yeah.
So, but that's a great breakdown, Elder. And,
Yeah.
I think everybody came in who was in the chat. Hopefully everybody's questions were answered. Elder, we gotta do a part 2 of this sometime.
Yeah, like
And
at least
really,
once a month we should do like a little collective,
yeah,
bring in, run and just pick up a topic. We all bring, give our 2 cents. I think it's much needed because sometimes I learn from you guys and feed off of you guys and we feed each other. So absolutely.
absolutely. And if it's any other brothers who, other content creators and which that's in the circle that, that I've been building with as of late, anytime y'all want to join these conversations once a month, feel free, click the link, be prepared for them when you get those notifications. If you're not making content yourself, because I already know how the daily rigmarole, hustle and bustle it is making being a content creator. But
yeah, we could maybe
I
aim
just
for
want to,
if you like, we could aim for every Sunday. If you like, we could maybe do, round table
right.
discussion every Sunday. Yeah, we could bring all the,
Right.
podcast creator that we roll with, that we respect, that we could maybe have a conversation. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And Christina Anderson, thank you so much for the $50 contribution. Says happy birthday, Nubreed. You're appreciated and loved. More blessings to you. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate
Thank you.
you.
Keep supporting. Thank you. It's much
Thank
needed.
you.
Appreciated. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, because
Absolutely.
listen, guys, this podcast arena, man, has become something that is global now. I mean, we're getting phone calls from people from all over the world, and if you respect what we're doing and you agree with what we're doing, or you believe that what we're doing is necessary, support, man. Support, because it's all this takes money. I'm planning. I'm working with some other brothers behind the scenes. We want to do some traveling, but all that takes resources. All that takes I'm actually starting. I'm going to be sending the email later on, either tonight or tomorrow. My first official meeting, A Man Going God's Way. This is an organization I'm starting, and we're only men allow. Women could join if they get married in, but we'll discuss that in the future. And we're going to be dealing with uplifting men. So if you're interested in being or just want to require what it's about, send us an email at IAMFITPodcast@gmail.com. IAMFITPodcast@gmail.com. You should introduce yourself. I'm going to put you in I'm going to be sending emails tonight and tomorrow to confirm for next week. We're going to be having this meeting with the brothers. And it's an idea. It's a philosophy. And one of the requirements of being part of this club is you must believe in polygyny. You must believe that a man is ordained by God to have multiple wives if he chooses to.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And the woman that you with must believe that's well. Because
exactly.
If we allow men that will allow or are okay with polygamy or polygyny and is with a wife that doesn't believe it, I'm going to view that man as a weak link because of his wife.
Yep.
So not only and thank you. I see here. Brother Robson donated me $22. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Also, because this organization is going to be, we're going to be discussing certain things, preppers, funding your wolf pack, information. We're going to be helping brother how to get out of this whole from alimony, this child support, helping brother with child support, getting the passport. I'm working with lawyers behind the scenes to help young brothers, because sometimes brothers don't know their rights and how to deal with certain situations and know how to navigate in this world, because this world's against us, brothers. We have to learn and come together and help each other out and network. Hey, I know a lawyer. I know a guy. We have to start seeking for our wolf pack, seeking for someone. So we're going to be building that. So I'm excited about brothers like you, brother Nubreed, because, I want you to get successful. I want to see success because, I love hip hop, right? But within hip hop, there is a thing of competition, right? Especially battle rapper. And I appreciate that. But I think it has psychologically damaged us to some degree that we are always against each other, that we always want to compete, and that is making us not to unite. It's making us not to come together. And we have to stop promoting each other and stop. That's why the sister out there with the Martin Luther King, she should not be disrespecting one of our black leaders like that openly. whatever issue she may have with her ex who cheated on her and yada, yada, yada. She's like, you know what? My plight and what I'm going through should not be in a situation that I'm disrespecting in an open airwave one of our black leaders. And these are the things that I want to discuss because, within our community, we have to understand there's certain things that we discuss openly and there's other things we discuss secretly. And we got to start respecting each other. Like, for instance, Brother Shaq, when he called Brother Kyrie Irving an idiot and all that, he should have done that openly. Whatever discussion, whatever disagreement you have with the brother, you should always, even if you disagree with him, never show them or show Europeans or speak about your own brothers in front of Europeans in a negative light. Even if you disagree with him and you're speaking to people outside of your nation, still present someone in the greatest light you can, even if you feel they did something wrong. Calling them names, an idiot, a fool, brother, that's not a good look for us. We have to start respecting each other. We are, after all, the image of God.
Absolutely.
We just have, and we have to, I'm over. It's going to be certain things that me and Nubreed probably going to disagree on. But I would never disrespect this brother in the airwaves and put, what I mean? There's certain things we may see things different. You know what I'm saying? And let me also say this, man. I got to also send, an apology to a lot of brothers from the One West community that I came from. I'm very critical for those brothers, and I believe they should stop dealing with that racism and all that, yada, yada, yada. But I would never throw those brothers under the bridge. In a secret, in my opinion, in some weird way, they're still doing God's work in some way as well. So what I'm saying is we could be disagreeable without being disrespectful. Let's start calling each other's names. Let's call each other brother, beloved. Hey, brother, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but let me show you why I believe you're wrong on this. If you allow me, brother. And we have that royalty conversation among each other. We're gonna change the world, man, because the Most High is waiting for his sons to be manifest into nature, and it comes from respect, royal. Even if you got two pennies to rub together, you don't have two pennies to rub together. You still conduct yourself as you royalty. Even if you live in the projects, even if you make a minimum wage, you still speak and conduct yourself like a dignified people. And understand that sometimes, listen, I like horsing around. But sometimes it's not time to horse around.
Exactly.
So in certain ways, I speak off the camera than when I'm speaking on the camera because I know when I'm in the camera, people are watching and I'm being judged. It's different standards. So there's certain things I would speak in private that I would not say in public.
Exactly.
And
that's the type of standards. No, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that's biblical law at the end of the
Yeah.
day. As men, we're supposed to conduct ourselves a certain way when dealing with each other. We're supposed to be nothing short of integral. And if we got an issue with a brother, all that little passive aggressive nonsense that a lot of these brothers got going on and shooting and firing all this information on social media.
Yeah.
Anybody who I'm connected with, anybody I'm building with, I want them to know our break. That ain't how I conduct myself. That ain't how I get down. Even if we have disagreements, we speak behind the scenes. I totally agree with that. And I feel like a lot of people on social media at this point, if you look at a lot of the more prominent content creators, they look at this thing like world wrestling entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's not healthy for our people.
Yeah.
We got to really have these strong builds. And when we doing these builds, people got to really tap that like button, really got to share the video because it should be a very positive thing to see brothers who have their own, who are kings in their own right, have their own respective platforms, doing their thing. When you see these brothers come together, the people should be embracing that, opposed to seeing brothers beefing and carrying on and going back and forth and making videos against each other and things of that nature. But we got to make a decision as a whole, as people.
Right.
Do we really want to see our people come together and put out this powerful content that's transformative? Because this right here, this stream right here was transformative.
Yeah.
It's not what nobody else on social media is talking about. And it's a tough conversation. For some, it's difficult to digest. But at the end of the day, when the end button is hit on this broadcast, it's going to make you think if you was watching. Mm-hmm. And that's a step further than where you were at. Because now those gears are starting to grind and you're able to put things into a different perspective. When it comes to content, that's what you should be looking for. Something that's going to actually transform your thoughts and have you actually thinking. So
Yeah.
support this real content. And again, Elder, I'm so grateful to have you on the platform. We will do this again. DC, thanks for the 20. I appreciate it, bro. You said it was a great show. Absolutely. And everybody, I just want y'all to share this. Feel free to eat, and all you editors out there, feel free to crop certain portions of the video if you would like. Share them on your respective social media, whether it be TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, whatever the case may be, Instagram. If you want to create shorts, and some of these shorts, I want y'all to send them to me. You can follow Elder Gabar on Instagram as well at I Am Fit Podcast.
Yeah,
so,
there's a fake one. It's called I Am Apparel. That's my old one. It got hacked. She said I Am Fit Podcast, Instagram, also in Twitter, also in Instagram, Twitter, and what's the other one?
Absolutely.
I'm also on Rumble, so check me out there. You know, if they kicked us out of Rumble, they kicked us out of YouTube, I'm going to Rumble. So you support that, because listen, man, who do you want to be a global phenomenon? Millions of subscribers, billions of subscribers. Do you want brothers like Nubreed, right? Or you want these other brothers out there that's talking about negativity, talking about, with the brother who got caught cheating, talking about, you got to keep the woman happy and keep her, stay faithful, don't cheat, and cheating is wrong, and himself was doing it himself. That brother's not helping. And there's more brothers like him out there than the brothers like Nubreed.
Absolutely.
Speaking true, there's more brothers like there's less of us out there are not afraid. Because listen, any of us right now could get a phone call from work or a business deal that we're doing, and they will hear that we said something that is controversial and say, listen, man, hey, brother Carlos, hey, brother Nubreed, I know you're doing this, but we can't cut this deal with you. We can't be associated with you because what you're saying, is too controversial. I agree with you, but I can't say it out loud. There's a lot of brothers out there, a lot of companies, a lot of corporations, a lot of churches, a lot of organizations that will agree with us but are too afraid to say what we're saying.
Exactly.
We're breaking away from these changes, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we're telling,
more,
and people don't want to hear it.
Yep, no more soothsaying. No more telling women what they want to hear just to gain a following.
Yeah.
Y'all ladies got to learn that, hey, it may be a tough pill to swallow, but the ones who being honest with you, that give you that little uncomfortable feeling because you're kind of battling with what's being said, 9 times out of 10, that's what you should be listening to, opposed to the Derek Jackson saying that every brother, when you're not around your woman, you need to be telling her you're taken. You see how that ended up. So ended up in divorce and lies and scandal. Yeah. So don't get caught up in the matrix. Don't get caught up in the metaverse. You already know what time it is, man. Again, Elder, thank you so much for for coming on my show, and it's an honor to be on yours.
Thank you, brother.
Honor to be on yours.
Matter of fact, let's do this for next week. All the women that are listening to the show, I want you to do us a favor. Sit down with your boyfriend, your husband, and I want you to promise us that you're gonna ask this question and curate the scenario in the environment that whatever your husband or your boyfriend tells you, you're not gonna get mad. It's an experiment. Mm-hmm. And ask your boyfriend, your husband this question. Babe, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm not going to get mad whatever answer you give me. If I will allow you to have another woman, how many women you think you will have in your life? And next week, come back and give us that answer. I'm just curious. I just want to know. I'm not going to allow you to do it. I'm just curious I will allow you. What will you want to? In the beginning, they're going to look around if I'm being set up. Right? Mm-hmm. There's a joke. They're going to, no, baby, I only want you. No, baby, listen, I'm not going to get mad. Right? And once you start having those conversations and you're going to start creating the environment that the men are going to be like, okay, if I tell you the truth, the way I really feel, I'm not going to get World War III at home. You're going to start finally getting the same answers or the same question or you're going to get those same answers, the same thing we're saying. And you're going to realize, oh, this dude Gabar and Nubreed are not crazy. Oh, if you just create the environment of men could just simply tell you the truth, unadulterated. Because, man, we could be honest with each other. If that's hey, brother, you're getting too skinny. Hey, brother, you're getting too fat. Hey, brother, you got to hit the gym. Hey, brother, that haircut doesn't look good. Hey, brother, I don't really like that car. We could talk about it. We may disagree, but we just say, hey, brother, what's going on with you, right? We could have conversation. And,
Right.
sisters, you have to start being brave enough to hear the truth from a man who loves you and don't get threatened by that. Don't start feeling that it's against you or it's a personal issue. A man is just being honest. Or you could continue living in la la land. It's up to you. Take the blue pill or the red pill. It's up to you. And I yield.
Absolutely. Now, we coming up on time restraints, and I'd like to thank you again, Elder. And hey, listen, I appreciate everybody who came through, show their support. For everybody who called in, thank y'all so much. We'll do this again soon, Elder.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you for having me anytime, and thank you for coming on my show as well. And then we'll do this again. We'll definitely do it again. Peace and blessings.
All right. With that being said, y'all have a blessed evening. Shalom and peace.
Shalom. Peace, brother.
Shalom.
Be well.
Peace. Thank you.
All right, and there it is, brother Nubreed. Okay, doing his thing. Okay, so let's let me just get this out the way real quick. So, guys, this is the thing that we need to have a real conversation about, right? And because it's like people are always going to be in a scenario that they're going to always live in a place of denial. And women are experts in plausible deniability. They just want to deny it. They just don't want to face it. I think certain people sometimes want to live in a denial kind of scenario. I believe sometimes certain white people live in a denial with the white privilege. No, I'm not white privilege. There's no such thing as white privilege. They're in denial. Women privilege. No, it's not true. It doesn't exist. That's denial. We have to start facing a scenario. Are there men privilege? I think so. We could talk about that too. But we have to be honest about ourselves. If you're a police officer and you're stopping a pretty woman from speeding versus a man, biasly, statistically speaking, you're going to probably give the pretty woman a break, and you're probably going to give the guy a ticket. Is it right? Is it wrong? That's not the point. The point is we live with these biases. And of course, in the Bible, it says we should not be respected of person, but we deal with these biases. So, sisters, you're biased with this thinking that monogamy is supposed to be God's will. You've been taught that by your father who lied to you, your mother who lied to you, your pastor who lied to you, society who lied to you. No, if a man wants another woman, there's something wrong with him psychologically. He's been abused. He's been this. No. He's just simply a normal heterosexual man living in a very sexual-driven society. So that's a problem too. So you activate that. That's why women, when you want to attract the right men for the right reason, cover your butt, cover your behind, cover your private parts, dress respectfully. But you don't want those type of guys, right? You want the bad boys. So stop complaining then. Stop complaining. If you want the man that every woman wants and he cheats on you, stop complaining. Or have a real conversation with the man you really want and say, you know what? How many women you want in your life? Could I be one of them? You know what? Instead of, you want 4, can you settle for 2? You want 5, can you settle for 3? Can you start and receive, shout out to Brother David for that donation. I appreciate you. Right? And if you start having this conversation, first of all, the man is going to look around like he's in, he's being pranked. But then once you create the environment that he's comfortable, then you could have a conversation. Well, baby, could you wait for 5 years before you add another wife to you, or we could start building? And usually, men start looking at other women in two parts of their life. When they're young, dumb, and full of scum, and they don't know how to handle their sexuality because nobody's teaching them. And they're in the club, 18 years old with a fake ID. Right? And they be exposed to half-naked women. That is the worst place to find a mate. Now, a hookup, that's fine. And if that's what you want to rock with, then that's fine. But if you're looking for a serious relationship, that's not the approach. That's not the approach. And I'm trying to help sisters out because you're the one that's losing out. We're guys, we're good. Don't let it fool you. It's like this. The guys that were not having sex because you got 20% of the men is wanted by 100% of the women. 20%. Then you underneath them, you got another 20% that women will settle for. Then you have beneath that is men that don't even are visible by women. They're not even considered. So the top 40%, the top 20 women want, beneath that, women will settle for. It's your choice, sister. You could have somebody you settle for or somebody you want and say, hey, I'm willing to share you and get a better quality man. The man you want. And yet, he's not going to be up your butt all the time because he's out there. He's a successful man. And he's going to have to split his time with other women. So then when you spend time with him, okay, now you got some time that is more valuable because you don't see him all the time. You're not up each other's butt all the time. You be able to miss each other. That's an issue also with monogamy too. You're not supposed to be up your wife's behind and seeing her face every day. That's an unnatural scenario. Even back in the days when you go into the Hebrew community, the women used to have their own chamber and the man used to have his own chamber. Men and women didn't always sleep together. That's a new invention. A man has to have his own thing going and have the opportunity to miss you. But if you up each other's face all the time, it's not natural. You're going to start resenting each other because even the women will start getting bored. The way America is teaching love and relationship is a Hollywood, fake, delusional scenario. And all it's producing is more divorce, more heartache, more women like this disrespecting Martin Luther King, one of our leaders in our communities, because she's been hurt. And she feels that a man is not a good man. He could do everything else, but as long as he messed up with one thing, cheat on his wife or decide to have another woman, he's no longer great. Your vagina's not that important, mama. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Because to keep it real, if it wasn't for us needing sex, we would not be doing half the things we do for women. Let's say if God tomorrow removes every man desire to have sex, this no longer desire. It becomes a chore for us. There'll be a lot of empty streets. There'll be a lot of empty clubs. OnlyFans will no longer would bankrupt overnight. Strip clubs overnight. The porn industry overnight. And all I'm telling our brothers and our sisters, especially our brothers, acknowledge your sexual drive. Don't demonize it. Deal with it. Don't let it destroy you. But don't think that you having it is some form of demon. A man is sexually deprived every day. It's just part of your life. Get over it. Get used to it. Get on your game. But don't think there's something wrong with you. Be honest about it. Embrace it. And converse it. And I would challenge every man to tell, if the opportunity presents itself to any woman he deals with, say, no, I could deal with multiple women. I just, understand women don't like that, so I don't do it. But if I prefer, I'd rather do it. If every man start doing and saying that in every date, and it becomes a trend, things have to get much worse before they get much better. Or continue doing what you was doing. Or, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the idiot. Maybe I'm the guy who don't get it. So thank you, brother Nubreed. Make sure you go there and support that channel. Support you support that. What the brother's doing, because he's bringing information that's needed. He's talking about a subject that is also needed. So brothers and sisters, especially brothers, man, stay strong. Love yourself. Don't listen. Don't keep trying. But when you fail, don't beat yourself up. Just try the next day, man. Just, when I've had conversation about afterlife and judgment and what is going to happen and what I'm going to tell the Most High, and this is what I always tell my friends. Hey, God, I try my best, man. That's all you could do. Just try your best. Just keep pushing forward. Keep trying. You're not going to get it right the first time, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, but maybe the 9th, maybe the 12th, maybe the 47, maybe the 103. I don't know, but don't quit. And you're not there where you want to be yet, but you're further off. You're further than where you came from. So just keep trying, man. Step by step. I live my life 12 hours at a time. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for Brother Nubreed coming on the show and me coming in his show. May the Most High keep you and bless you. Until next time, Shalom.